dive in, balls deep.
Hey,
That's what I do. And
what's up, everybody? It's me,
go
your
straight
boy. I went straight balls deep.
Yeah, that's how this works, right? No.
I mean, sure.
Just get in there and just just rattle it around.
Just go for it.
You know, like my wife said, I can think of 14 reasons to leave you, plus your obsession with tennis. And I replied, well, that's 15, love.
I want to hit you with a wiffle ball bat so hard right now.
Stop!
Man. Yeah, that's a highlighted stop, too.
Hi, Dallas.
Right, so I guess I can kind of do an intro for mine, and then if you want to do an intro for mine as well. Or I guess intro for me on yours for people who don't know.
I'll do this. This is Trash Mouse. Trash_mouse_.
There's two underscores at the end.
There's another underscore?
Yeah, someone had that one too.
Why do you gotta be all weird? No,
it's not my fault. Like the normal trash mouse has been.
Underscore.
Yeah, because normal trash mouse. Yeah, that's how most people. Just call me trash. Most people. Just call me trash. But yeah, regular trash mouse is an inactive account. It's been inactive for 4 years. So I keep trying to get it, and it's still inactive. So I just kind of gave up and took the triple underscore. 1 and then 2.
Yeah. Sort of like FrostedFricks. Yeah, like I'm Frost. You know how you got the number that goes with the name, like for like naming conventions for your emotes. Mine's Frost9_ and whatever the emote is. I'm gonna have to kill the other 8.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's a battle to the death. I don't know where they are, but I will find them. And I will kill them.
Fair. So yes, I'm trash. I'm just kind of a shit poster. Okay, I just gotta follow.
What?
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I always forget that Shooky did my the voice lines for my stuff.
Right? Oh, she did? Shooky's a big sweetie.
Oh, I love her so much. Like if
yeah,
I could marry
so awesome.
her, I don't know if I'd be good enough. Okay, like but no, I just heard like thanks for the follow, senpai, and I was like Shooky's voice. I love her, and then but
I love you and I miss you.
But yeah, Rogue, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trash. I'm supposed to just be Trash Mouse, but I ended up getting some underscores because the normal account's taken. For everyone that doesn't know from my community, this is my boy FrostedFricks. This is the person that made it so I have a computer right now, because he sent it all over, because we sent it to his house and from like various different people.
And then terrible things happened to the world.
And then there was this whole thing called the COVIDs, and then he couldn't cross the border and still can't. We were gonna have a nice date and everything. And then
I was gonna get him dinner.
Yeah, dinner, a hotel. It was gonna be a fun fucking evening.
Yeah,
his girlfriend would never hear about it.
Yeah, we were gonna have a great time. And I was like, I even had the hotel reserved, dude.
Yeah, it was. It was gonna be fun. But yeah, so a few of our friends sent him some computer parts because it was cheaper to send it to him still in the States, because I live in Canada.
And I just drive it over.
Yeah, and then we get to hang out. It would have been awesome. And then there was all like this. Somebody ate a bat, and then just the world fell to shit.
Yeah, it was bad. It literally happened like
not even like a week before you were No, it was not even a week before you were supposed to come out.
No, yeah, I was like, I'm all set to go. And then suddenly, oh, by the way, you can't cross because you're a filthy American, you goddamn commie. I'm like, what the fuck?
Freedom! Oh no, why am I getting Snapchats while I'm... Oh no, what is happening? I just got a Snapchat, and it's from my roommate, so I'm kind of afraid. It's a video, I'm not watching it.
It's a dick.
No, she doesn't have a dick. Well,
do you
I've never been in her pants, so I don't know, actually.
See? Just goes to show you never know who does and doesn't have those things.
You know what? I swing both ways. If you play for both teams, you score more often. So if it's there, pleasant surprise. If it's not, buried in thighs. Okay.
Oh my. It's a huge one. Hi, Ghost.
So I'm a little bit more lewd than Fricks, I'd like to say.
Very.
Yeah. I mean, my whole like character is supposed to be like an incubus, but then I was like, most people don't even know what the fuck that is. So I was like, I'll just be a demon.
Have to define
I'm
what
a demon
incubus
mouse
is.
boy. Yeah. But yeah, so for those that don't know on my stream, this is my boy FrostedFricks. I adore him. He's lovable. He does really good voice acting. He does the YouTubes. Are you still doing the Has Been Hotel stuff?
Yeah, on and off. Because my YouTube, I recently did like a video and it was like a couple of them. They just have been doing really really bad, and I don't know what's going on there. So like I'm just
You gotta
it's one of
swap
those,
to
like,
whatever the
yeah,
one
I
is.
going back and forth.
Hell of a
you know,
boss.
that's how
Swap
we
to that.
prepare for battle. Thank
Oh,
you
no.
again, there, right for the raid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
an incubus
this
is a male
is trash
succubus. A lot of people don't know that though. So is my audio okay though? I'm not coming in. There's no like static or no background noise or nothing.
Let's see. Maybe I can see what I can get you to come in a little bit louder.
Okay, I just want to make sure that my audio is okay for you guys. Just because I would hate to, give you shit
Okay.
audio.
Hold on. Let me make some ambient sound switches. Alright, go ahead and say words.
I'm speaking. These are words that have been requested by FrostedFricks, my lover in disguise. And now my cat is
Say a
meowing.
couple more.
I am speaking. These are words. Sometimes they come out in multiples. Sometimes it's just one.
Yeah. I think
Sometimes it's
we're
barely even
balanced
English.
now.
Also, how's it going, �K𝐿𝐴? Welcome to the stream, homie. But
I
yeah,
should
like,
stop whatever the hell's going on my computer. Give me a second. Okay.
just light it on fire. Hit it with a hammer. I'm being requested. What do we have
Sounds
here?
a bit-
What we have here is a spooky, creepy time collab
Spoopy.
with the boy FrostedFricks and myself.
Yeah.
Because I know you and I have had like, I think it was like nearly Halloween in 2019 that you and I talked about some spooky
Yeah?
stuff. And then we were like, yo, we should do a stream talking about it. Like, we just need to like sit down in a VRC world. And then I stopped playing VRC. And then we just never, like, we talk, but like we don't like stream together anymore. But
yeah, no.
this has been almost like, this is like a year and a half in the making of like, we need to
Yes.
sit down and talk about our creepy encounters type thing.
I've had my my share.
You have. I know that
This
we
is
got a
story
few things
time.
in.
We're still starting up. By the way, unlike Trash Mouse, whose facial expressions are completely controlled through his camera, mine are all controlled via my fingers.
It's okay.
So if you see me type in our DMs, that's not intentional.
I will sit there and look at and be like, what does that even mean? I barely understand LOL. Okay. Like, call me a
League of
boomer.
Legends? What? No.
What? That is a fucking joke.
What?
Oh man.
Aw.
Oh, I'm sorry. And you play?
No, I don't play. I
Oh,
think
fucking
it-
thank Christ.
I fucking you couldn't drag me screaming out of hell for that thing. It's like, hey, we gotta wait for you to get out of hell. Oh yeah, what do I gotta do? Oh, you gotta play League of Legends. You know what? I like the warmth.
Yeah, bring me to the 7th circle, please.
Yeah, actually, could we go a little lower?
yeah. Can you dig deeper? Is there like, you know how I live in North America and they say you're digging to China when you dig a hole? Is there a China in hell? Can I go to the other side?
Can we go there? Can we go?
Yeah, can we go to like extra hell?
Make the Jordans they sell.
Yeah. That was terrible. What the
Yes.
fuck? All right. Well, while we're on that topic, since we're starting up our stream, we didn't discuss
Jordan?
anything prior because we're incredibly well rehearsed and amazing people that know exactly what we're doing. Do you want to read off? Do you care if we read off chat while we're both talking, or do we just want to talk?
I read off chat a bit. Yeah.
Okay,
I
I don't mind if you read off your
thank you
chat.
for Hyatt.
Okay, so we're both okay with that. All right, because I
Yeah.
feel so bad because I always read off every message in my chat, and I'm sitting here like, I see them, and then I'm just not reading them. So I'm like, ah.
Hi, Mr. Night Owl. Hi.
Also,
Pants.
your chat
Pants.
is
Pants.
always more active than mine. So,
This is new for them, so this is a lot. This is a lot for them to take in.
okay. I'm a loser. I've worked in porn, and I have a deep voice. There you go. Everything you need to know about me.
It's funny because how I ran into Trash Mouse. It's funny because everyone he met ended up running in, finding him through me.
Okay, yeah.
And what ended? Yeah.
The first time we met, I was asking him to teach me, or not teach me, advice on how I could do, I could do this better.
How are you doing, Fricks? What are you up to today?
So that was how we became friends.
Yeah.
I asked him for advice on how to do that.
It was funny because I was in a random public world. You know, in public worlds we're good.
Well, we say random, but it was like every fucking VRC streamer, like ever.
Yeah.
Like there was my brain just went. I literally just forgot every word in the English language except for these
Call me
ones.
Pan. I will. Facility?
I can't remember. It's our strawberry Canadian little funny man's like small girl, but is actually boy that slaps milk. Brain work.
Slaps milk.
Yes. Every time he visits Canada, he has strawberries. He has a country kind of accent, but he's small. He's friends with Chromia.
Oh!
My brain ain't working.
Forever.
Yeah.
I got this.
Right?
Berry,
Odom.
strawberry.
Odom.
Odom. Yes.
Odom. Odom
I know
fire.
if we started
Yes, it was
singing a song, eventually we'll get it down. Yeah.
Yep. I definitely didn't look at my
Berry,
chat and see
strawberry.
Blindside said that it was Odom.
Proto said it was Odom.
Actually, surprisingly,
I've
I'm
been
being
saying-
asked, is it Drumsy? I was like, no, I've actually never met Drumsy. I met the person that
never
made
met
Drumsy's
Drumsy,
original
no.
avatar. I know a lot of Drumsy's friends. I actually,
Welcome back.
you know what's really funny? You want to hear like the through the grapevine kind of thing. Okay, so you know how Drumsy has Moxie and Peach on his streams, right, and his videos.
Even though
so
he's never come
Peach-
to me, I would love to be able to do that for him.
So Peach is actually good friends with my good friend Ted Farkas. And Ted
What?
Farkas is not even any way related to VRC in any way whatsoever. Or her OnlyFans.
Yeah.
They just
Oh, boy.
he does like the most insane streams. This man literally like back when I was streaming 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. After my stream I'd always rate him and I'd hang out there for hours until he was done at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Right? And my man, he's like he's something else. Like he makes like, you know how I talked about I wanted to make like commercials or something like that. Those are his like raid videos and stuff like that. Like he'll just like take something like this, turn this into this. He has his own custom Cowboy Bebop one that's just for him.
Wow.
It's so cool, right? And then he's on Wednesdays for a while there. He was getting drunk and then throwing in for himself in front of his green screens. And like they were recording their own episodes of X-Files. And it was so weird. They made like their own X-Files intro and everything. I was like, bro, this man's insane.
You didn't know.
Also,
we knew
everyone
each
in chat,
other?
I'm sorry I'm not reading. I will catch up with you guys in a moment.
Yeah, I've known. As I said, I've known Trash Mouse for almost going on 2 years now.
Yeah, just
As I
about
said,
2 years.
what I met you in was a random world. I remember.
Yeah, it
because
was a random
it was a-
public, and then
it was a
every
24-hour
fucking
stream.
VRC streamer showed up.
Yep. I was
Was
doing
it-
my 24
it was
hour
my 20
stream, and then you hung out with me the entire
No, hold up.
time.
Hold up, you were doing a 24-hour stream.
Yeah,
I was doing a 24-hour stream.
that's funny.
That
Yeah,
that
you
was
were
my
hitting-
first 24-hour stream.
You
Was
hung
that
out with
stream?
me the entire time.
That explains why we became friends. We spent a whole
Yeah.
24 hours together almost.
Right.
Oh man.
Hi,
Oh,
Cheetah Man.
goodness. We met in a random world. Yeah, Killa, we did. And then you were a robot. And we became friends. And then blindsided. Yeah, we did meet through Frosty Frog. I have not spoken to them in a very long time. But yeah, like literally,
Frosty Frog? No.
Odom showed up. Even my buddy, I'm forgetting names again. He made the Dragon Ball world that everyone goes to, Kami's Lookout, that has all
Session.
the avatars.
Oh, not Session.
No,
King Todd.
yes, King Todd. He
Yeah.
was there, and you guys were hanging out, because I was buddies with him already, and like
Yeah.
so many people showed up. Oh, sorry, all the commands in my chat are messed up since my computer corrupted. Yeah, did you hear about that?
No.
So, I was playing Wind Waker. All right. As I was like my Wednesday streams, right? Because I was doing like Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Now I do Monday through Friday. And
Oh.
I went to go load up stream the one night, and my computer, after loading up Wind Waker, went. And then it just went blue screen.
Lovely.
And I was like, I don't recognize that code. I know just about every code.
Lovely.
What is this?
With your luck in computers, I don't doubt you know every code.
Yeah.
Doing good, Cheetah. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, pretty much. So pretty much, my only guess was it was a hard drive failure. And I was like, well, that's weird considering my boot drive's an SSD. But, yeah, I have 5 drives in my computer. And then 1 external drive.
Huh.
And all of them were corrupted.
Oh.
Because I loaded up Wind Waker. Because I play it through 𝐂𝐶EMU, right? Because I ripped the ROM from my own disc and everything. So it's a legal way to play it. It's just emulation.
Course.
No, actually, I did.
Absolutely.
I actually did.
No,
I jokingly say
know.
I did, but I actually
absolutely. No, absolutely. Yeah.
did. Yeah. Everything else probably not. But
Yeah. You
yeah. So I was playing Wind Waker.
You can
I
do it
loaded
as long as you own it.
Actually, yeah. That is how that works. As long as it's your own
Absolutely.
ROM.
Yeah,
but
as
no,
long
that
as
was
it's your
I
own
actually did rip that ROM myself. That was an interesting thing to learn because I want to know how to do it. So I ripped it and used 𝐶EMU, which is CEMU. It's a Nintendo Wii emulator, and emulating is completely legal. The distribution of ROM files is illegal because that's piracy, but emulation is completely legal. So I was I've been playing through the game. I got to almost literally the exact same point that I got to when I first ever played the game. And I was like, all right, cool. And then when I went to go start up stream one night, the second I started up to be like, all right, let's do audio testing, let's get everything all set up. It was like, and then it just, everything corrupted. And I lost all of the files on my computer. That all of these drives have files that have been on every computer since I've had since about 2009.
Damn. Like
so I was like, this is a problem.
My computer's currently on fire.
No, it wasn't on fire this time. That's only happened twice.
This time.
It's only happened twice. You guys have a wonderful night, guys. I think you have a great night too. I'm sorry I wasn't replying. I love you. Look at Frick being all, oh, whoa. It's because Frick's adorable.
I am not.
You are. You cannot deny this.
No. It's easy for me to deny.
Thank you for the follows. Oh, I didn't appreciate Proto doing that. Thank you, and Matthew. Thank you. I do appreciate it.
Proto's awesome, and Matt's pretty cool. Impressionable, but pretty cool.
Impressionable. All right, this is not somewhere you want to be. Unfollow. No. I will corrupt you. But yeah, so I was like, all right, you know what? I have to fix this. Like, I'm not losing all that. I got about, I want to say about 90% of my files back. Guess which one I didn't get? My Wind Waker playthrough. And almost all of my stream assets. So I remade all of them, not that anyone could tell because, well, I remember exactly how I made them. So that was fun. But yeah, I lost like all the important shit. I kept all my important to work because this is my job. Right?
Hi, Salty. Welcome back.
I lost all. Like, I kept all the important stuff to, like, my life, right? Like, videos of, like, me and friends as teenagers, like, old pictures from, like, family and stuff, personal files, all that. I was able to get it all back. And that took me about a week. And, yeah, but I got it, right? That's why I wasn't able to stream that whole week, and it was, oh, boy.
Hi, Crimson.
It was a thing, right? It was just, whoa. But I got all that. That's why none of my bots work or anything. The one that my bot that I scripted as well. You know, my custom bot that I made, gone.
So
and everyone's like,
use Nightbot, use WiseBot, use Streamlabs bot, use Stream Elements. I'm like,
I liked what I had. I used mine. I made mine. I did exactly what I wanted. Now I'm like, you know what? I just use ReStreamBot because I restream now. So it's been nice. What? Hey, you know what? I've doubled my income, and I'm growing so much faster than before, and I'm doing nothing different. I'm also making like more money because I'm not a Twitch affiliate anymore. I got rid of my affiliate status. It's a complete waste of money.
Gotcha.
No, well, okay. Now hear me out on this. All right, a Twitch sub, right, is $5 plus tax, right?
Yeah.
Well, and you make $2.50. So the person giving that sub spends over $5, and you get $2.50. I use PayPal. Someone gives me $5. I get $4.70. They only spend $5. It saves them money, and I nearly double what I make.
And in my case, I use PayPal, and someone donates $5 and demands their $5 back because they can't recall why they did that.
No, you just leave it in the account. Leave it in the account for at least 3 months.
Oh yeah,
that way it's past the point of being able
I gotta
to get
refund it to them.
And also, if you don't have it as donations, it's not donations, it's tips. Donations are refundable, tips are not. Legally. In both Canada and the United States. Tips are non-refundable, but donations are. So if you have a legal disclaimer,
then change the wording from donation to tip.
But if you live in Texas, they're donations, because then you don't get taxed on them, and they're non-refundable. Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm moving to Texas. It's been nice living in New York and all.
Just stay away from Austin and Houston, and you're good.
Shit's expensive, yo. So I'm getting ready to bounce. I'll catch you guys later. I'm gonna start packing right now. I think I got enough to get me down there.
But no, like the way I see it, like my community got like really on board with it once I explained it. I was like, I'm doubling my income. You guys are spending less money, and all of that money goes back into the stream. Like right now, it's not because my parents are going through a lot right now, and I'm helping them. So I literally have 0 in both of my bank accounts. Like I gave them every cent I had. So
you know, this is what I do now, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, we were talking about that before.
Oh, also, chat, for those of you who want to know, yes, he does know what my voice sounds like.
Yeah, I've known this man for a long time.
It's a
how
super
who
secret.
to first meet? How did we first meet?
Yeah,
I think we already said that.
Yeah, I found him wandering around in a public place, and we just hung out
we were
for,
just
like,
swarmed
the
by
entire
famous
time.
people, and then I was like, okay, and then I was like, I'm gonna gravitate over to my boy King Todd, and then I was just like, hey, you got a funny voice, and he was like, thanks, and then we just kind of started shooting the shit.
I think I won you over with the country song.
As Yakko.
Yeah.
Your voice is different. I thought that was always your voice. Nani?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no, he's heard my actual voice.
Yeah.
It is much deeper than what you're hearing right now.
Oh man, are you? Is this a voice reveal? Do people know?
No, I'm not. They ain't gonna find out.
They ain't gonna find. Okay.
Not anytime soon.
I mean, I could just talk like this. This is how most people hear my voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a lot more inviting. But then, this one is just natural. So, or you just really mess with it. Like,
alright, we could talk like this the rest of the stream. No, you don't like that?
He's like, why am I right?
Hi, Mutals. I'm doing good.
I thought I was the female avatar. What is this?
Wait, no, you're the guy. I think you are. Yeah. You said incubus. So yeah.
Wait, end up pissing the frick off, and he goes into Kratos mode. Do you have a Kratos mode?
You fucked up, Roland.
Oh no.
Boy. That I think that's what they're talking about. When someone says something dumb like boy.
Boy.
Child rendered. My man's eyes are fucking epic. This man? This boy right here? This one? With his silver and black outline?
It's not... My eyes are blue and pink. And they got little hearts in them. I don't know if I can, hold on. I'm gonna zoom in and see if we can show these. Hold up. I gotta tab over to that.
Closer.
That's as close as it gets.
Enhance. I kind of want to put it like a negative on your eyes just to see what happens.
What?
Put a negative filter on your eyes and see what happens.
Oh, no, they just become orange and green, I think, or some shit.
That's cool.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with orange eyes.
Yeah, I actually got this model for free.
Kowalski, enhance.
I had someone join my stream okay? And she's actually a really close friend of mine now. But she joined my stream, and she was, like, super active in my chat.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of person that if you hop up in my chat and you end up following me and you're active, right? If you just follow and you're not active in my chat, then I don't do this. But if you're active in my chat, afterwards, I consider you a part of my community, right? So I go to your profile and I see if you have like a Twitter or an Instagram or a YouTube, and I see who the type of person you are, right? Because like you could be fine in my chat, right?
Yeah.
But I might not associate with you if I check your Twitter and I see that you're like racist. Okay.
Right.
So I do a little bit of background check with people in my community. I'll let you in my chat, but I won't be as like, oh yeah, be a part of my stream or whatever if I know that you're racist, right? So I look up people, and just out of coincidence, this person was a streamer, and I was like, oh, they're actually a streamer. That's kind of neat. So I watched one of their VODs, and it was the most recent one, and I just kind of skipped through it a little bit. The background checks are pretty good. Yeah, I guess. So I skipped through her VOD a little bit, and then I saw my username, or a link to my Twitch, on her chat that was on screen. And I was like, Nani, the fuck is this? Right? So I kind of skipped back to when it first popped up, and then it was her talking about, like, oh, I think he has so much potential, this, that, whatever, but his avatar, I'm sorry, it's holding him back. Right? And I was just like, what the fuck? No. Okay, to be fair, I made it in 5 minutes.
Oh, was it the Vroid one?
This is a Vroid one that I'm using right now, too. But it was the one that I
Nani?
used before. Yeah, this is Vroid. So she was like, so as a surprise, I want to make him a new one. And I just want to give it to him. This thing is worth like $300-400. And just because she was bored and she wanted to like make my stream better, she like started like just making this. And I was like, what the fuck? So why are you making me so big? What is this? What are you doing?
I'm evaluating, cause you know I do my own. I do a lot of my own avatar stuff, so I'm just like.
Okay, well,
I'm like.
it's so fucking blurry. Yeah, this is Vroid, man. It's a VRM file. And I watched her making a VRS too. She's like, how does this look? And I'm like, can we do this? Because then she started asking me, because I saw that and I was like, I saw she was in my Discord and I tagged her. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? What is this? I'm watching through your VOD. And she was just
Nani,
like,
the hell are you doing?
Yeah. And she was just like, she was like, no, stop, I'll delete it. I'm like, I'm already downloading it just in case. And she was like, no. And now like her and I talk like every single day and just became like really good friends. So she calls herself my #1 simp. So, which turns out that can't actually get you banned anymore. Good to know.
Really?
Yeah, it's only calling people it as like as an insult or something, but actually being one doesn't. You disappeared, and you're back, and you have a tracker in your forehead.
Yep.
And it's gone.
I put my actual tattoos on my avatar.
I got tattoos.
Yeah.
I got my arm tattoo.
Nice.
I've got my side tattoos, I got my face tattoos, and I have... Do you want to see my tramp stamp?
Why does your avatar... Okay, fine.
Alright.
Can I do a Dalek voice? Well? Good. I don't want to know what the other part says.
It says boy.
Of course.
Oh, man.
Can I do a Dalek voice? Boy.
What the fuck was
anyway.
that?
It was me. I don't know if I can.
Oh, I will say I like the avatar, but you know, some of us prefer the IRL trash just chatting. Yeah, that's why I do VTuber Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then I do IRL Tuesday, Thursday. So
that's why you should. See, I don't do the camera thing anymore because you know you lose the immersion when I'm doing voices.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, it's weird when I do voices because they're girl voices that I do, or I do like Kermit the Frog, and I have like filters that change it so I look like I'm actually like I use something called SnapCam, right? So it allows me to use Snapchat filters.
Yeah. I can be Kermit the Frog if you're interested in Kermit. Yeah.
Hey ho, Kermit the Frog here. Today we're going to be talking about where the rainbow had gone.
Yeah, so like, but a lot of the Snapchat filters, like, they're the same as just like putting on a.
What's that?
Oh, yeah, that was. What the fuck?
What the fuck? Controls?
You're making a. What the fuck?
Yeah, I hit the 0 button and. I don't know what that is.
I died. I don't know.
It's gonna be weird when I open up my eyes.
Yeah,
What,
but Trash
Nani?
has a beautiful face, and that's from me, a mostly straight man. I love that you said mostly.
Wait. Oh, wait. Does it have? It has a keybind. That's why. There we go. I knew that. Okay.
But yeah,
Stop
like
it.
I started off as like a just chatting
Okay.
streamer, and then also doing like VR chat, right? So I kind of have a mixture of both, so I'm lucky with that. But using a Snapcam, I can just use filters that like, you know how there's like stupid filters on Snapchat? I don't really use Snapchat aside from like, hey, we matched on Tinder. You don't want to talk on Tinder? Add me on Snapchat. It's the only thing I use it for.
Yeah.
Definitely not for, you know, just getting pictures of things. Yeah, I'm not
no,
gonna
I
get
get
into that
you.
one. But yeah, like that's I just use that, and then I can like change into a bunch of different stuff, and it's pretty cool actually. So I've got like my IRL stuff, and then I got my VTuber stuff because I have like a mixture of both. But
Yeah.
I only use Snapchat for the filters. Honestly, though, that's all it's for. Just use Snapcam on your computer.
There's no other reason why to have Snapchat. Honestly, for me, it uses up way too much of my
Your phone's vibrating.
No, I'm being a dick.
Uh,
Yeah. Now I found out I had these noises today, and I'm like, I can't wait to mess with people.
Of course. I have a
Yeah,
webcam. Yeah, if you have a webcam, just install something called Snapcam. It makes your webcam like 1,000 times better. Don't know how to install it, just your computer will do it itself. It's called drivers. If not, look it up, just Google it. Why are you disappearing for? What are you doing?
I was putting my shirt back on.
What?
I was putting my avatar shirt back on. I put the sleeves back on.
Oh, I was gonna say, I hadn't realized it was naked.
I mean,
No, we're not pulling a topless on this one.
wait, what?
She turned her camera away and she used her nude model on stream, but no one else was streaming.
Oops.
There's clips of it on her YouTube. It's funny.
Oops.
But
Anyone, Mr. Psychedelics channel? I don't know who that is.
yeah, I have no idea who that is.
No idea who that is.
But yeah, so like I don't see a point of losing the immersion from all that. With my type of content, right? Because every stream is different, right? Like each day is a completely different thing from the last. Like today is a collab day, right? And I was like, first person I'm collabing with, like when I start on my new routine, is my boy Fricks.
Heck.
I need to.
Yeah, this has been way too long.
We've been needing to talk about our spooky stuff for a long time.
I got lots of spooky stuff to go over.
Apparently, Bomber says you're a nerd
Fucking Bomber, where the fuck have you been?
in my chat.
Son of a bitch. Doesn't even hang out in my chat anymore. Doesn't even hang out in my Discord no more. Doesn't even hang out in our Rust server anymore. This boy's been just avoiding the shit out of me. Fucking, I will find you, and when I do, I will make sure the polygons on your head are as fucking ridiculous as they were the first time by making it again.
That's deep, man.
Boy. Jazzy.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, what else do we want to like catch up on before we actually get into like talk about spooky stuff? Because like, I don't know. Like, we never really talk anymore aside from just like, hey, how you doing? I'm doing okay. How you doing? I'm doing okay. All right, I'm gonna go take a nap. I'm good. You know what?
I'm gonna go take a nap. I'm gonna go to the gym.
Yeah. Well, I didn't go and take a nap. You went to the gym today. I was lifting. Well, we moved probably close to 2,000 pounds of dirt, sand, limestone
This
grindings.
is trash underscore mouse underscore
gravel
underscore.
And what else is it called? Like those like river stone type things, like black rock type things, like going like garden.
Excuse me.
About 2,000 pounds of that. And then came back, and then we had to go and grab. We grabbed 40 like I forget the name of them, patio stones. We grabbed a bunch of scrap. We grabbed a bunch of wood, and then we went back and grabbed Oh, and then we also grabbed like the table and a bunch of other stuff. And then we grabbed another 20 patio stones, and each of these patio stones is 80 pounds, by the way. Those are fun to move. And my brother, yeah. And I was helping with my brother, and we actually called 2 of our other brothers, like, yo, you gotta come help. Like, this is insane. And they're like, all right, we'll be there. Like, it was 5 truckloads of shit that we moved today. Like pickup trucks. And they're not like small 6-foot beds. Like, no, they were 8-foot beds.
Of course.
And then we had to move like the other like 20 patio stones that we brought here. Even like we got a shit ton of wood here. A desk for me, so when I get my new room. So there's
you
a
made
whole
that out of
lot.
a door.
No, actually, that was the plan. And now we're gonna turn that door into a workbench in our garage because this desk is already like an adjustable. Like I can make it into a standing desk if I want, right?
Nice.
But it's not
Nice.
like an electric one. It's just like you set it to where you want it and you leave it there, and it can hold over 300 pounds. So I was like, and it's 78 inches. The fire door is 80. Yeah, that'll fit in the exact same spot. Cool.
Awesome.
So that's the way it works. Because the spot I've got is 80.5 inches. So I was like, it'll fit.
Yeah, for me, I just went to the gym. It was leg day, and I did a lot of weight on the legs, and then moved into the cardio room and did the elliptical for 30 minutes. Other than that,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah, my
Hey, new personal best. I burned 400. I loved it. I burned 420 calories on the elliptical today.
I don't know how much I burned. I didn't eat until I got home. So I woke up at about noon because that's when I wake up, right? And because I go to bed at like 8 a.m. Yeah, exactly. I go to bed at 8 a.m. I wake up at noon. I do that every day. And that's my daily routine because fuck sleep. It's a waste of time. I'd rather be doing stuff. So my brother yesterday, he messaged me. He's like, hey, what are you doing between 1 and 3 tomorrow? And I was just like, helping you apparently. And he was like, all right, cool, moving patio stones and some sand. And I was like, all right, some patio stones. I'm thinking like, probably like 15, 20, right? And some sand. No, 2,000 pounds of fucking dirt, sand, a bunch of other shit, right? And then, a bunch of wood, a bunch of patio stones, a bunch of other shit. And I'm like, I'm dying. Bunch of scrap tables, bed frames, whatever.
Yeah.
And he picked me up at around 2. We didn't get back till like 6:30, almost 7 o'clock.
Oof.
Yeah, I was doing that nonstop. It was fun. Yeah. I definitely didn't throw out my back the other day. So that's fun.
I have to use the bathroom, and I'll be right back.
I'll try and hold down the fort. All right,
Yes,
that means I can catch up with my chat that's been more active than normal.
About
3
5
hours and 47 minutes.
I think I'm allowed to go to the bathroom.
Your thing says 3 hours and 47. Don't you lie to me.
Oh, I didn't start at 7. Okay, I've been streaming for about 4 hours.
Yeah, you started
I still gotta
at
use
8.
the bathroom. I'll be back.
All right. He's walking away. Well, now he's in a weird spot, actually.
I haven't
This
walked
is not
away
what it
yet.
looks like.
Joke's on you. I haven't walked away.
This isn't what it looks like, I swear.
Okay, so we're just gonna make this less weird.
All right. Yeah, he's gotta go pee before he pees himself from the scary stories. All right, everyone. So let's see what my chat is up to and Fricks' chat. I'll try and keep up with both of you. Can I do it well? Who fucking knows? Frosted is the king of nerds. Please tell him. No, he is away. He will not hear this. The webcam has a screw thing, but I don't know if I put it on my monitor. It should have a little clamp thingy more than like that it'll be able to go onto. Heh wood. Yes, wood is funny. I like boner jokes too. Alright. Bathroom before scary. Clip it. Frosted fell down. Yeah. 2 are close friends. Heh. I did the clamp on it. Then it should be fine. The little screw thing, that's just for a tripod. Don't worry about it. Alright, let's hop over to his chat now. Because now I'm facing the other way, which is actually on his screen, looks just right. Okay. Dialect voice, make it blah blah blah. Good tattoo is opposite of the Joker damage. Wait, the good tattoo is the opposite of the Joker damaged. Nani? What is this? Doing a good rogue. Happy to hear it. Vibing in Mouse's chat. This is nice. Thank you. I do see you in both. I do appreciate you. Anyone know Mr. Sedale's channel? Oh, never mind. I tried to make a funny joke. I'm sorry. I failed to understand it. I am very stupid. Wait, what is this guy's channel? My channel is trash_mouse__. And we are live over there too. That's what I meant earlier, is colors or something. I was like, that hallucination. Nah, I just coincidentally ended up picking like the trans pride colors, which wasn't even my intention. I just really like pink and blue because I think they're cute, and then purple as well and stuff. But yeah, will you do it well? Who will know? I don't know what that means. But yeah, I often get asked like, oh, are you like trans or something because you have trans pride colors? I was like, that was not intentional. I'm sorry. I'm an ally, but I'm not. No, I have nothing against it. I play for both teams. As I said earlier, it's either a pleasant surprise or bury me in thighs. All right. Yeah, I'm a lot more lewd than Fricks, more than likely. Like, I came from a background of working in porn, so I mean, it kind of had to show up at some point. And I was like, you know what, we'll just zone with that. All right, here you go. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you, Salty. That is nice. I appreciate you. But yeah, we've been having a good time. So, our plan for tonight, actually, is to now talk about spooky, scary stories. Now, I'm very into, like, the supernatural, the paranormal, cryptids, aliens. Pretty much, if it gives you the heebie-jeebies, I'm probably into it. And Fricks is also kind of a trash mouse, part shark mouse. I just don't have the ears or tail on this because this is straight out of Vroid, so I'm going to be throwing it into Blender and getting rid of like the actual ears. Like you can see the normal ears on it. I'm going to get rid of those. And then I'm going to be adding in mouse ears and a mouse tail. And then I'm going to toss it into Unity and I'm going to throw that into Fix a Skeleton, because Vroid model skeletons are okay for like if you have VR, but if you're in desktop mode like me, doesn't work. So I'm going to be fixing up the skeleton and then throwing it into VR chat, and then I'll be able to actually play VR chat more likely. But no, I'm not part shark. They're supposed to be mouse whiskers, and they aren't the way that I wanted them originally, but my artist liked them more, and then everyone she showed them to liked them more. And I was like, alright, so I'm a demon that takes on a mouse form. Good enough. Oh, Chard, thank you for the follow, I do appreciate it. I was like, scary, but doesn't get me scared until 3 AM and I'm sleep deprived. Oh, okay. Have you heard about the Great Chicago Fire? I have heard about it. I don't know anything about it. Oh, detail on the face or whiskers reminds me of sharks, my bad. Oh, that's no fair. I'm gonna speak English once more. I'm gonna attempt this. No, I can see it. They definitely sort of look like gills. But they're supposed to be whiskers. The way that I wanted them, they looked like whiskers. But my artist was like, no, let's do it this way. And I was like, okay. And then the artist that made my Vroid model, she just did it the way that my ref says. Like my reference sheet. So she was just like, alright. I was like, okay. I wanted whiskers so people don't mistake me for a shark, but that's okay. Alright, I gotta turn off my heater. It's getting really warm. Just with one moment as I lean down to do that. So I'm probably gonna be scuffed for a sec. Alright, I'm now back. Article of fire that killed 300 people. Oh, that's not cool. Thick whiskers, yeah, pretty much. I kind of look like Naruto because of it. Ugh. But yeah. 1871. Okay. Yeah. Oh my goodness, my man's be making noise, and now my cat's up on my desk making noise. Oh, this is a horror story waiting to happen. There's lots of noise here. Looks cool, by the way. Thank you. I do appreciate that.
I just remembered I almost poisoned myself yesterday. Now I'm back. Hi, how are you? By the way, you need to clean up underneath there. It's really dirty. So...
Oh man, Gecky's even stopping by. What's up, Gecky? How you doing, man? A lot of weird stuff in Chicago. There's always weird stuff in Chicago. Mouse pog. Oh no, why are we mouse pogging? What is this? Internet going out for no reason. That does suck.
That sounds like Spectrum to me.
Hey, Wraithy Wraith, thank you for the, or Wraithy Wraithy, sorry. Thank you for the follow.
Wraithy Wraith. We can just call him Wraithy. Or hey
Wraith.
you!
Hey, you.
Do you want to know what the shotgun sounds like? No.
Click, click. Bang.
Right. What was I going to say? Yeah, I almost poisoned myself yesterday. It was good.
Oh, do tell. I'm about to drink about quarter gallon of water, so I will listen.
All right. So, yesterday I was making a roast for Thanksgiving, like from scratch. Awesome. I had to kill the cow and everything.
You mean
no, I'm
Easter?
joking. What did I say?
Thanksgiving.
So, anyways, I was making a roast for Thanksgiving yesterday. I'm just getting a couple months ahead of time there.
Just a couple.
Just a couple. It's gonna be ready by then. So I was making a roast yesterday, and I had all my ingredients. Okay. So I had lemon juice. I had some smoked paprika. I had some salt, some pepper, some nice minced rosemary. So you already know this is gonna be tasting good. I got some.
You've also got like a third of what you need for a bomb as well. Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay.
And I had some beef broth and everything. And so here's where it got interesting. I also had some Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire, but yes.
I keep getting told it's in so many different languages in so many different ways. But anyways.
I'm Canadian. That makes me right.
No, it just makes you polite. But the
Yeah, which rhymes with right, so it's good enough.
Okay. So, but for those of you who don't know, Worcestershire sauce has anchovies as an ingredient, and I didn't know that.
Are you allergic to fish?
I'm allergic to everything from the ocean. And if it wasn't for my fiance sitting there going, "Wait, can I see that bottle?" I probably would have been in a hospital yesterday and today. I replaced it with A1 steak sauce. It was only a tablespoon.
That's a good substitute. That's a good substitute, yep.
Please don't poison yourself. Please also, hello. Hi, Jacob.
Good thing Mouse isn't a shark. I mean, I think he'd run the risk.
Yeah, I hang out with a crab, so...
I hang out with a crab, that's fair. No, I mean, I can kind of relate to, like, nearly poisoning yourself, but I do it as a joke.
I did it on accident.
I'm just convinced I can't die.
Mm.
I mean, I've had more heart attacks than most people will ever have, and I'm still here, and I got a mild superpower out of the deal, so it's pretty dope. The joys of getting nerve damage. I can hear colors.
Orange is really annoying. That's why it was the first thing that came to mind.
Oh, man. Yeah, but
I stay here now because Fubu got off. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting situation you put yourself in. I'm just stupid. I'd be like, hey, this is gonna hurt myself. Or like, I wonder if this will kill me. And then I try it, and then I don't die. So
yeah, Crystal caught it before I put it in. I'm like, well, congratulations, you're now the proud owner of Worcestershire sauce, and I'm gonna go out and get some A1 steak sauce for emergency right now.
yeah,
Thankfully, a dollar store was open around the corner.
I mean, technically, you could use soy sauce too, but A1 steak sauce is way better. I don't think they even sell that here anymore, actually. I haven't seen it. Like, we used to have that all the time, and I haven't had it in years. But, alright, so, who wants to go first for their spooky, scary stories?
Rock, paper, scissors.
I don't... You'll just have to trust me. What did you do? Okay, the other one. I don't have arms. I have a face. Ironic that that's exactly how I am in VR chat. That's why I stopped playing. How many hours do you have in the game? 1,000. Oh, how many in VR? 0. Well, why don't you get a quest? I would like to see things instead of touch them.
Bomber, hello.
Oh, now he goes over there.
Yeah, now he comes over.
Yeah. All right. But no, if you want to go first, because I don't know any of your like spooky, scary stories, or do you want to give like a background into each of us on why we're into the supernatural first?
Well, you can.
Because that might be better. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. you just. All right, you go first. Then I don't want to go first. I'll feed off your energy.
It's okay. I know you're about to pull paper as I was pulling scissors. You're welcome.
All right. So
In your head.
I'm afraid. So my interest in that was ever since I was like a really little kid, right? Like I grew up in a haunted house, right? It wasn't like scary haunted. It was like there was two little kids that were in there, and I don't know why, because that house wasn't always there, and I don't know if any kids died there before we moved in, but I don't know. There was two little ghost kids, I guess, and I want to say about 3 when I first started like playing with like the little boy and the little girl, right? The little girl didn't really play with us much, but the little boy did. And by the time I was about, I want to say around like 6 or 7, my little brother, he's 2 years younger than me, and we're just kind of like, we were playing upstairs and we were running through the halls. My parents were like, our kids are really good at playing. Like they don't ever get bored, right? Like it's always as if they have someone else there. And then they noticed the one time they heard both of us run into the bathroom and hide from somebody because we were playing like tag or something upstairs. And then they heard another set of feet, and they were like, what? Okay. And then we would like bust out of the bathroom and like chase them, right? So we were always playing with them, and like the little boy would play with us, but the little girl wouldn't. And eventually we would tell our parents about like these 2 little kids, right, that we were playing with, and they're like, oh, okay, imaginary friends. And then they heard the feet thing and they're like, oh. Now my parents were both raised with religion, and we weren't, but they didn't put us through any form of religion or anything like that, because the way they saw it is we will come to our own understanding of things and our own beliefs on our own with our environment around us, right? Because my friend that grew up across the street from me, she was born in December, I was born in July, right? We lived across the street both until we were about 18, right? And we both moved out to our own places, whatever. So she was like a sister to us, and they were super religious. So obviously there was still a religious influence in our life, right? Because she was like our sister. Like her parents were like a second set of parents to us, right?
Yeah.
So there was just always like so many different influences, and none of us grew up to be religious. That was just completely okay. But so my parents weren't like afraid of ghosts, and they've had encounters with things that they couldn't explain before, right? And the way that my mom sees it, if they're not harming me, I don't want to get rid of them, right? And my dad sees it as, okay.
Okay.
Like, just, okay.
Okay,
I don't really care.
I believe you.
Yeah. Well, the way he sees it, the dead can't hurt you. Only the living can, right? Now, the dead can influence things, but, whatever. That's an entirely different thing. So, there was one time that we were over at our grandparents', right? And my parents were just kind of sitting in the living room, and it was, like, pretty late at night, like 10, 11 o'clock. And they heard one of our toys upstairs being played with, like one that made noise, right? Like batteries or whatever, right? And they heard little foot feet, steppy steps, going around upstairs.
Yeah.
So my parents just kind of both stopped and like looked at each other like, the boys are over at their grandparents. So they just kind of went upstairs, quietly, obviously, and then they went up to the door to like our bedroom, because brothers, bunk bed, whatever.
Yeah.
And they open the door, and there's a toy in the middle of the room that's just making noise. Clearly hadn't fallen, right? It was just sitting there, and it looked like it had just been playing with. And my parents just went, it's getting kind of late. Can you guys keep it down, right? Or go to bed, right? Mm-hmm. And then that was all they said. And then, or my dad said that, and my mom was like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing, right? But didn't say anything. And they go back downstairs, and then they heard footsteps, because we had a really creaky floor. And they heard footsteps go to the top of the stairs and then come down enough stairs, because like the way it was set up, like you had to go down a few stairs before you could see into the living room. And they heard someone come down a few steps, and then all they heard was a very like quiet and sheepish boy say, sorry. And my dad and mom just kind of like stopped and looked at each other like, and then my dad was like, it's okay, have a good night. And then they just heard like little footsteps go back upstairs. So that was like my first kind of situation of that, right? Like we grew up in a house where that was just normal, right? So as it turns out, growing up, I'm very in tune with that kind of stuff. Like I attract it, whether it was there to begin with or not. It shows up around where I am, no matter where I am. It's Casper. It was not Casper.
No.
No, he had a name, but I don't remember his name anymore. Actually, again, when I was 17, And like the little girl would normally just kind of like sit on her bed or just like sit in the one corner, just kind of chilling, playing by herself because she didn't really want to play with us much, but she was kind, right? She was nice. She just didn't really like playing, right? She was just one of like those like to themselves kind of kid. So I remember I was 17 and I'd completely forgot about all like the two kids, right? And I was walking down the stairs the one day and I heard like hello from like the living room on the couch, and I obviously being used to like paranormal type stuff at this point, because I've had it around me my whole fucking life, right? I just completely forgot about those kids because like they weren't really around once we started to grow up, right? Like I stopped seeing them when I was like 11, right? So it's been like 6 years since then. I didn't think about it. I heard like a little girl say hello from on the couch, and they were always upstairs, but nothing ever kept them up there. Like we played with them in the living room with my like when my parents weren't home, right? But they always stayed upstairs, if my parents were home. And I heard a hello from the couch in the living room, and I was just like, hi. And then I heard a giggle, and I was like, okay. So I just kind of walked down the rest of the stairs, and I go into the kitchen where my mom was, and I was like, did you just hear a hello? And she was like, no. And I was like, I just heard a little girl say hello. And she was like, well, did you say hi back? Because obviously my mom was an adult when all this happened. She remembers. So I was like, well, yeah, of course, not a total asshole, right? And she's like, okay, then you're good. And I was like, what?
What?
Okay. And then she
Okay.
re-explained all of it to me, and like it was like a wave. Everything just came back, and I was like, what the fuck? Because like I have something called semi-permanent memory. If it's not important, I don't remember. You could literally tell me something right now, I'll forget it by the end of the stream. Right? Like if it's not important, I don't remember, because if it's important, I'll remember it the rest of my life. But if it's not important, my brain just forgets it immediately. So it was kind of neat though. So I was around a lot of that, and you know, like growing up, I always felt more in tune with like what was going on around me, like energies and stuff. And I have a multiple personality disorder, not a DID. DID is like dissociative identity disorder, where you just kind of dissociate and another one takes over. Multiple personality disorder, they all used to be called multiple personality disorder, but now MPD is its own special kind of thing. That was like the third or fourth documented case, I guess, of ones that are able to cohabitate and not want to kill each other or fight for control. So it was, I started like developing them around like 11, so right around when like the ghost kids weren't around anymore. What'd you say? That's weird. I had never put that together until I just said that.
What?
That they stopped coming around when I started hearing shit in my head.
Huh.
Well, okay, so I'm also like schizophrenic and stuff. Like I see stuff and I hear stuff all the time. And the best way that I'm able to tell, sorry, I gotta drink a bit of water. The only downside to my voice is the scar tissue on my vocal cords. Talking for too long hurts.
There.
Oh my god. Scar tissue in my voice is fucking killing me. So the way that I explain it is you can tell the difference between a hallucination and what's real based off of where it comes from. So you know, like when you hear something really far away, you're like, oh, that was off to my left, really far away. But you wear like headphones and you're playing like Call of Duty or something, right? And you hear something off to your left and it's really far away. You can tell the difference between it being headphones in real life.
Right. Also, hello. You have a good night.
That is the best explanation I can give it to it.
Okay.
Like it still makes you think, go like, huh? But you know, like it's often like I can hear something in that direction,
Squirrel!
And instinctually I look that way, but then I can tell where that sound came from. It didn't come from outside of my head; it came from inside my head. And then seeing things, it's often like you need to.
Hi, waifu dat.
You need to kind of like assess where you are, and look at it and go, is this real? Is this not real? Does this make sense to be here? Does it not? Really sucks when it's just a table, and you're like, I'm just gonna lean on this table, and you just kind of fall. Which has happened to me more than once. So, but usually, like I'll see like incredibly messed up, scary things. Like I remember, I want to say it was probably around a year ago. I was just laying in bed, like after having like a super long day. Like I've been up for like, I think probably close to like 30 hours because, well, I'm me and I don't sleep. And
Yeah.
as I was closing my eyes, I saw like this really creepy like old man face. It was like kind of torn apart, and it had like all like gears and shit in it. It was like kind of steampunk, it was really freaking terrifying, right?
Sounds gnarly.
But I was like, okay, I know that when I don't sleep for within 24 hours, my brain starts doing this a lot more. Is this real? Because it was all in black and white, right? So I just slowly opened my eyes and I saw color come to it. I'm like, well, clearly it's not real if I saw it behind my eyes or behind my eyelids and in front of it, right? So my immediate reaction to that, or not immediate reaction, but my reaction was just kind of like lift my arm.
You have a good night.
It was just like lift my arm and just kind of like drop it onto the face where it was, and nothing touched it. So I was like, all right, cool. But now I'm freaked the fuck out. So I just sat up, and luckily I'd been eating shawarma earlier that day, and I brought it to my bedroom because midnight snack. And I was like, time to eat shawarma. And I just ate the shawarma, and I just went out to the living room, and I just kind of chilled. And I was like, yep, I'm not going to sleep now. I'm freaked the fuck out. But I mean, I know it wasn't real. Because it was just so like, oh. Well, that's terrifying.
Just an image, yeah.
Yeah, like, it's just more of like, I'm awake now. Thanks. So, but like, I bring this up because it's very similar in that degree of like my hallucinations to seeing things. But I can still tell the difference because it's almost like you have to take so much into account, right? Like if you see like a projection on a wall, you know there isn't a TV, but there's still the image, right?
Yeah.
And if it's a TV, it gives off a sound, right?
Yeah.
But the projector, the sound comes from the other side, right? Where the projector's coming from. So when it comes to anything like supernatural that I come across, right? It's more of like you can hear the sounds from it, or it's breathing, or anything like that. Hallucinations don't normally have breathing, unless it's purely like something that's creepy that only does breathing. But the only hallucinations I've ever had that breathe are incredibly terrifying, and that was the whole thing that made it terrifying, is that it was breathing. But it was just clearly not real, right? Because it's like, it's stepping through things, no, right? Whereas supernatural stuff, unless it's like a ghost, you know, it can go through things. But there's like a weird difference, like you feel a demon, you feel like a ghost, like there's a very big difference between what they are, right? Like you can just tell. I don't know how to explain it. Like, you know, when you feel like you're being watched.
Yeah.
And like it turns out someone was actually watching you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't get that with hallucinations. You feel like you're being watched, but it doesn't feel the same. So but like, what the fuck? What just happened?
The fuck was that?
I
Something just fell behind you.
Yeah, give me a second.
Also, Ren, how are you?
What the fuck is that?
We're talking about spoopy things. And something spoopy just happened. Nani?
All right, so I have like a false wall because I live in like a basement living room that I had to section off. So I had my own bedroom because I had moved back with my parents, and the part of the foam wall just fell. So I'll just need to fix that later.
Oh, okay.
So,
Normal.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, you know. I'm getting an actual room in like a week anyway, so it's whatever. I'm not too concerned if this wall starts falling down. It just means it's less for me to take down later. Yeah, as long as like the wall is still there, right? It's just the top of it. Fuck it, I don't care. No one sees over the wall anyways. What was I saying before?
I have no idea.
Telling the difference between things that are there. So like you can kind of like feel like when someone is watching you, right?
Yeah.
But it's more of like a gut feeling for that, as opposed to like an anxious feeling, right? Like it makes you anxious, but you're anxious because of the gut feeling. You don't have the gut feeling when it's like a hallucination. It's just like I'm anxious because there's something near me that's watching me, but it's not actually watching me. And it's one of those things that I've adapted to over time because I'm not gonna let it hold me back. You know, like I'd rather like adapt to how I am. It's how I am, right? And having my MPD as well, it's kind of beneficial because then there's more than one person that can read this situation, because like we kind of cohabitate, like my brain. It's kind of like a co-pilot system.
Yeah.
So this is my long-winded way of saying I can tell what is a hallucination, I can tell what is real, and then I can tell what is like some kind of supernatural. because
Gotcha.
there's feelings to everything, right? And it's not just
Yeah.
like, and every time something happens, I assess, was this a hallucination? Because that's obviously the first thing, right? Like, is this just in my brain? No, it is not, because it does this, this, this. Okay, now is this real or is it supernatural real? Because supernatural doesn't need to confine to our same things. Okay, well, it's giving off this type of feeling, right? Like, you know, when you're in front of like a heater, right? You can feel the heat touching you, but there's really nothing touching you.
Mhm.
Imagine that without the actual heat. That's what you get from like supernatural stuff around you, from my experience, right? But that could just be like the way that I am attuned to it, right? Because I've met lots of people and they're like, I don't feel that, and I'm like, I'm just really in tune with it, right? Like, I can pick up on stuff before it even happens. Also, chat, I'm terribly sorry I'm not keeping up with you. I see you. I love you all. I appreciate you.
You want? I can take the steering wheel about my experience real quick with Supernatural.
If you want to, and then I can get into like my my belief system afterwards. If you want, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So my experience with the Supernatural started when I was really young, which is like, you know, back in the 1800s when I was, fishing with. I'm joking, but no, I started ever since I was a really little kid. No matter what house I've ever lived in, it's always been haunted. Always. Okay. I've always lived in a haunted house. Even when I had a house built in Arizona, the land it was built on was haunted. So no matter where we went, it was always haunted. And I've experienced
literally every place I've been has been haunted because I just attract it. So I feel you. Yeah, it just happens. So you're like, what the fuck?
And I've been told that it could be something following me. And I'm like, yeah, but then it would be the same thing everywhere I go, and it's not.
No, it's not. It's different things. You just attract them.
Yeah. But I may go for the night. I'm not the best for scary stuff. Oh, I'm sorry, Ren.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry. If that is, I mean, I will be going into other things later tonight. So this is only just for a little bit.
Oh, but only a little bit? I can't keep you till 2?
Well, that's what I mean by a little bit. Anyways, so spoopy stuff. What did I do? I had so many like things happen to me, like right down to the point where I am actually 100% afraid of, and this is stupid. It's an illogical like fear. I am afraid of Jack-in-the-Boxes.
I mean, I have panic attacks from paper cuts, so I don't think it's weird.
No, paper cuts are it's logical. You don't want to get a paper cut.
No, I have a panic attack from them. I don't get nervous. I don't get nothing like that. I get a paper cut, I have a panic attack. It's the weirdest fuck thing. And I've been stabbed twice. So like, why is paper what makes me afraid?
But
nothing traumatic
my experiences one of my experiences made me like super afraid of Jack-in-the-Boxes. Like, if I play a game and a Jack-in-the-Boxes part of it, it's like, nah, fuck that. I really panic. Not your fault. I don't want to ruin the fun. It's okay, Ren. I do appreciate you showing up and saying hello.
You have VR now? I don't have VR. This is just a capture program with.
We tried.
I mean, I knew it wouldn't work quite yet, not until I have the model in actual, like through Unity and stuff. This is just like a face tracking thing that lets me use a VTuber model.
But what was I saying? Oh yeah,
Jack in the Box, illogical. It doesn't make any sense, but it's what's going on. Yeah, and I respect it. I understand it. Yeah.
And
I wouldn't want something jumping out at me. Fuck that.
I have something with me where if I walk into a building, actually, even before I walk into a building, I can tell you immediately if it's haunted, and I can tell you there are a lot of buildings out there that I won't step foot in.
Because there's an energy that's there. Like, yeah.
Like I like legitimately stopped and went, no.
I mean,
I'm not going in here.
There's been plenty of times where I've done that. Oh god, yeah. That remind me to tell the story of the White Wolf. I'll remember it if you say that. Okay.
Yeah.
Whether you say it or someone in chat, someone remind me of that when it's my turn to talk later.
He says to the person with short-term memory issues.
Well, in all fairness, we've got a few people that are watching right now. I mean, just a couple. You know, they might.
Just a couple.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
one of you remember it. Just type it in if you're one of those people that just lurks. All right, type it in, and then when I ask, just type it in. Just press enter, and I'll thank you.
But yeah, but yeah, I've always
the Box
experienced
energies,
ghosty
yeah.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been part of what I like. The house I live in right now is even haunted, though there's not been too much activity in the last year or two. It's still quite haunted, and I know it is. There are nights where it's like it's uncomfortably, like eerie, where I'm not comfortable by myself because I live here by myself now, but I'm
Mhm.
like uncomfortable to a point where it's too much.
What is
that's
your
the night-
belief system?
Huh?
Are you religious? Do you follow any form of like cult-like activity? Do you
I'm
practice
actually
anything?
not religious at all. I'm more agnostic than anything. I believe there's something out there, but there's nothing. It doesn't have a name, and I don't have to go to a box somewhere with a bunch of other people to worship it or whatever.
I can use science to explain how God is real and how he's not real. I can argue either side of the argument. But
Yeah.
do you have like a belief system though?
No,
Like
I
any form of like supernatural stuff that you're into? Like lycanthropy, vampirism, any form of like witchcraft or like anything like that? Or, like Taoism, Hinduism, anything?
I don't follow anything. I mean, like my parents used to be pagan when I was younger. I was Christian for a little while,
only
but
your mother
I
could be,
just
but,
didn't like
yeah.
the belief system personally. But that's my personal thing. I'm not saying that it's bad.
No,
I'm
of
just saying
course.
it just
Like
wasn't for
whatever
me.
makes you the best person you are. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like every
And-
religion and belief system or whatever like practice, right, has its good sides and its bad sides, right?
Yeah.
Like there's always goods, there's always bads. So
Right. And like I fell out of a lot of the things because I always felt it was like there was something wrong with one thing, there was something wrong with another thing, and it's like and it's like I know I was my parents were part of the this thing called TAWN in Arizona, which is a Tucson area, a Wiccan pagan network or whatever it is. It's just like it's like a general forum for people who practice paganism, and I remember they were part of it, and I remember like just reading some of the paperwork and whatnot, and it's like they just want money. That's all this is. This is all a fucking
that's
money
what
grab.
most religions are, yeah. I mean, think about it. One
And-
paycheck has to go to the church if you're a Christian. So I mean, how the
Right.
fuck you gonna pay rent?
Right. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, why do we even get into this? This is dumb. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like. I don't
Well,
like,
whatever
I don't like
helps make
people
you
that
the best
pray.
person you can be, though, right? So
Yeah.
that's the best thing. Like there's a lot of benefits to religion. There's a lot of downsides to it as well, right?
I've known
so it's
people
all
who found peace within themselves through finding a religion that they like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So on the counterpoint to that, though, so you don't follow anything because you see all like the things that don't make sense and bad parts of them, right? And you just
Right.
kind of, I'd rather be agnostic, and whatever happens when I die is what happens when I die.
Yes.
So on the counterpoint to that, what I did was I studied as much as I could about as many different belief systems as I could. So I'm part Native, and obviously I was interested in that, even though I don't know
Yeah.
much about my heritage. Yeah, you look at me and you know I'm part Native. Geki, thank you for the $5. I appreciate it.
Ah.
So I have always been interested in learning. So I learned a lot about like Native American cultures of like my local areas, and even it branching out to like out west and everything. So I started learning about like all the different things, and a lot of them had similar things. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. They're all native. You know, like these are stories that have been told down, and obviously things get told between tribes over time, so things make sense. And then I did heavy research into like Christianity, Catholicism, Judaism, like everything, right? Like I was looking into all like the standard, I'm sorry for my phrasing, the white people religions. All right. So I was looking into all those, right? And because to me that made the most logical sense to look that up now, because I'm mostly white, right? So I should learn about what other people like me have learned, right? Just so I have a better understanding of those around me, right? Even though I grew up in a mostly like Black and Middle Eastern neighborhood, right? Most of the people that look like me
Bop.
are like they follow these religions, So I learned as much as I could from all of that, right? I would read like the different Bibles or whatever they are called amongst various religions, right? And I would see the differences, I'd see the same things, right? And then I got an English version of the Quran, right? So I read the Quran, which, is, like the belief of Allah, and like it's a lot of like, what are you doing with the hand?
I'm not booping you.
Okay. Everyone on his stream, he was just hitting me with a hand. So I started looking into, like the Muslim belief system, and then I started looking into like Hinduism and Taoism, and I started looking out so much, right? And I was doing all this like before I was even like 12. I was just learning. I've always been interested in learning. I hated school because I was being forced to learn things. I would rather learn on my own and what interests me. So what I did was I found things that were similar amongst all of them. And then I started looking into more of my native stuff again, right? Because I saw there was some like cross-reference type things. Because like in a lot of religions, ash and like various different types of gems and silver and stuff like that have power. And I was like, okay. So clearly ash is important. Like ash from a fire and whatnot, is used for different things. And burning incense or burning like sage grass and stuff like that, right? Like you go, okay. So there's crossing. So that makes sense. That must be real, right? Now real is a loose term I use, but like I'm piecing things together. Things have left my belief system. Things have come back. Things have just left forever, and I don't want them back because they don't make sense anymore because of other things I've learned, right? But then I started getting a little bit older, and I was looking into like Wicca, because it was starting to become popular because Tumblr had become a thing recently at that time, right? And I was like, okay, I've never heard of like Wiccans before. That's a type of witchcraft. Okay, I thought witches were like, green skin, broomstick, word on the nose, black cat, Halloween, right? I didn't know they were an actual thing. So I started learning about that, right? And I studied as much as I could. Now, as a male, I'm not able to practice anything that is Wiccan. I'm physically unable, apparently, or spiritually unable, sorry. So I was like, okay, well, a lot of this actually crosses over with other stuff from like Taoism and stuff from Native American lore, right? And like there's different branches of Wiccanism.
Hi, Dropkick.
Or not branches of Wiccan, sorry. Wiccan is like a branch of paganism, if I'm not incorrect. I think I'm correct, but I could be wrong. But,
no, you are.
Yeah. So I started looking at different things of like paganism and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, so the practices are different between different types of witches. Okay. And there's different types of what they follow. Okay. And I was looking up a bunch of different stuff. I'm like, oh, so this has this type of energy. This has this. So I'm studying a whole lot of stuff. Oh, wait a minute. I just realized that Geki's $5 was his month's sub.
Ha!
Because he doesn't, like, he can't sub anymore. So that's his sub.
Yeah.
He does that every month.
Now that like along with you say, that was another reason why I kind of backed out of that whole thing. Not because of like how it worked, but I met too many people that used it as a way to power trip over their household.
Yeah, that is something I don't like. That is something I don't like. I never push any of my, like when I was younger, I was like,
I'm atheist. If you believe in God, you're stupid.
Right? Because I was an annoying
child.
I
was talking about.
Right?
I
was a fucking child, right? So it's the same kind of it's the same kind of concept. You're pushing it onto people, right?
Yeah. Well, they're power tripping.
When should the reminder be said? When I ask
what to do because they're the woman of the house. It's like, okay.
I'll probably say something along the lines of, I had something to say and I don't remember what it was. So that whenever I say that, So I started looking into more in that, which branches you out even further down the rabbit hole, right? And I started learning a bunch of that, and I've always been able to see a color around people, right? Until I started learning about native stuff when I was really young, right? I was like, oh, that's an aura. Okay. I used to be able to see that. I can't see that anymore. I can feel it, the same type of feeling that you get from that type of aura, but I can't see it anymore. I don't know what happened. It just went away.
So you want to hear something funny off of that real quick?
Sure.
I see it on houses.
You've told me this. Yeah.
I see it on houses.
I get the feeling from houses. I don't know if I ever saw it on houses. I can't remember anymore. But
Yeah.
I could get a feeling from places if it was like an overpowering like energy there. But
Yeah,
so
I
I used to
see
be able to
it- I
see
s-
them, and mine
Yeah, I
always
see-
confused
see it
people that
on
could see
houses.
them because of my NPD. Mine changes color really quickly depending on because like we'll just randomly swap. Like sometimes just one of us is just controlling the legs and the other one is just taking care of everything else, right? Like because it'll just like whoever's like the main person in control at the time, it'll just swap and be like, what the fuck? How did you go from red to green to blue
Yeah.
to orange to purple? You know, like it happens, right?
He's a rainbow.
Yeah, pretty much. So I was walking down the road with a buddy of mine who wasn't into any form of like religious practice or any form of like belief system like what I'm into. And again, I'm expanding mine. I'm learning things. Like I wear silver rings for a reason. Those are from like, you know, Christian and Catholic belief, but they've also got
Yeah.
stuff from like other things.
Wow, punch a lichen in the face, call it a day. Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting to that. So I was walking down the street with him and a couple of our other buddies, and as we passed this one guy who was like, I wouldn't say goth, but he had like a dark look to him, right? And I just kind of like noticed his like aura, right? It was like a completely different feeling than I felt in my entire life, right? And I've met just walking down the street, you see millions of people, right? Like in your life, you'll see billions possibly. Might have been the same people, but like, you know, you'll see it, right? And I've never felt something like this. And I was like, guys, I'll catch up. And they were like, oh, okay. I was like, excuse me, sir, as he had already walked past. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, I have a question for you. And he was like, okay. All right, like, why is this kid talking to me, right? Because I was like 14.
Yeah, who is this boy?
Right.
Yeah.
Who is this 14-year-old? Because he looked like he was maybe like 18, right? He was like, what? And I was like, what is your belief system? Like, what do you practice? And he was just kind of froze. And I was like, you're clearly not any normal religion. And he was like, and I'm like, I see auras. And he was like, oh, you what? And I was like, yeah, you're something I've never felt before. And he was like, I'm practicing vampiric. And I was like a
Wow.
vampire? And he was like, well, not a vampire, but that would be, I guess, the closest thing. It's called vampiric. And I was like, oh, okay, well, would you mind teaching me about that? Because this is interesting. I've never felt something like this before. And I'm
Yeah.
always looking to learn more, right? And he was like, yeah, sure. I was like, do you have like a cell phone I can like, you know, message you and then, you know, we can like talk? He was like, yeah, sure, right? So, and I got like a good vibe from him, but it was like a different feeling, right? So,
Yeah.
like, he didn't seem like a bad person at all. And me being a stupid 14-year-old who was 10 foot tall and bulletproof and didn't believe that anything could hurt him, right? I was like, all right, so
Yeah. I'm gonna talk to this stranger.
yeah. Well, I didn't care. I had my boys there. I was in a gang at the time.
Yeah.
Man. Like, I was a little like
I'm into spirits.
kind of gangster though. Like by this point I'd already been stabbed twice. All right, so I didn't care.
Yeah.
Or no, stabbed once at that time. Sorry. I got stabbed twice, or the second time when I was 17. Whatever. And he was like, yeah, sure. Like, and then I started messaging him back and forth, and I was like, all right, so you want to pick like a day to like meet up and like hang out at like a park or something like that, and we can like start explaining shit. And he was like, yeah, sure. So we start talking, and he was like, man, like you're actually genuinely interested in this. I'm like, I started explaining what I just explained to you guys, that I just want to learn as much as I can about this kind of stuff. And he was like, okay, so he taught me what he's allowed to, and he was like, if you're interested, I don't remember like I guess the closest word to it would be like a sect, like the group, right? He was like, I can talk to like our leader and see if he'd be willing to let you in and learn more, because I can only tell you what I'm allowed to, right? Because you know, it's obviously information that's supposed to be kept within it, right? And I was like, okay. And it's not like,
Oh, we drink blood and we think that we're
not allowed to see the sunlight, because clearly I saw him in the middle of the fucking day, right? And he's like,
oh,
Yeah.
we're always up at nighttime and we are afraid of wooden stakes and silver.
right? And it's like, no, like they actually use silver, believe it or not.
Huh.
Because a little known fact, a lot of people are like,
Oh, silver stops werewolves.
it's also for vampires, most lore.
Yeah. As
but-
a matter of fact, the reason vampires couldn't see the reflection was because the mirrors were originally made of silver.
Yes, yeah. I didn't know that you knew
I
that.
know my lore.
You do. So I joined them and we started learning a bunch of stuff. And So it turns out that most like vampiric sects are all very different. Different ones practice different things, and the one that I joined were like they primarily focused on fire, right? So that included firestones, seeing stuff in fire, using fire for things, ash, all sorts of stuff like that. So firestones, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's any type of red stone. So that'd be like rubies, garnet, stuff like that, right? And then they also used
piano somehow.
Sorry,
I had to.
It's all
it's
good.
what I do. I don't know why I am the way I am.
But then they also use night stones, and night stones are like purples and black stones. So that'd be like amethyst,
like
onyx, stuff like that. Yeah, obsidian. Specifically, obsidian is like their most like.
Hematite. That's a good one.
No, obsidian is like their most important one because it's a true firestone. Even though it's not technically stone, it is stone. It's a geode, right?
Yeah.
Because it's fire glass. It's made from lava, right? So it's both fire and dark. So it was like a very like sacred thing, right? That's why they had very little obsidian, because you don't want too much, because if you put too much energy into things or whatever, right? So I started wearing more rubies, and coincidentally, rubies are my birthstone, right? Now I don't really believe in like your birthstone has the most power for you, but like there is an attunement to it that I was able to, get because I was practicing this so much, right? Like I'm good with like water stones and like nature stones and stuff like that, but like fire stones were the main thing that I picked up on because of this, and it's actually about 60% of my belief system now, is a lot of this stuff. And so like we would use like firestones to like it's more of like what energy you put out into the world. You can like learn to focus it, like treat your inner core, right? If you can put like a fire inside yourself, like you can adjust your body temperature by moving the energy throughout your body, because energy is a constant, right? And if you think about it, 99.9% of you doesn't exist, because if you look at a molecular level, most of it's not there, right? And there's energy flowing through you because of this, right? And that's the belief system on it. So we learned a lot of like controlling energies from that, and which isn't something that I learned much from like any form of the pagan stuff, anything from like the native stuff. But I would say like native takes up about 20% of my belief system. Vampiric takes up about 60%, and the other like 20% is like a mixture of a whole bunch of different things. So I learned a lot about like controlling these energies and putting them into like the firestones, and using that for like if I need good fortune, I'll hold on to this particular stone because I know this one I put that type of energy into, right? And I burned it with like the fire of my soul or some shit. I don't remember what the fuck it was called. Because I even thought it was kind of lame. They even thought it was kind of lame, but it's what like their practice was, so it's what they're supposed to say. And in a way, it does kind of make sense, right? Like you are a walking, talking computer that's made out of organic matter. So I mean, what is electricity except for like plasmatic fire, right? And I guess fire is technically a plasma, but I'm just listening to the nice man's voice. Okay.
Yeah. I try to explain like I tried to do a quick abridged version of how what you're talking about.
Yeah. So we hello there. Hello to you. So I started practicing a lot of that, and then night stones were more used, like amethyst particularly, were used for like talking to things from like other like dimensions, right? Whether or I guess we call them realms, but looking at it from a science point of view, it would be dimensions. Sorry, I gotta drink a little bit more water. My voice is starting to kill me from talking. That's why I'm quitting smoking.
Smoking bad to begin with. Whoa, that is a paragraph.
It works as a really good
Okay,
painkiller.
wanna hear
You
a
don't need to
story?
mute yourself. Yeah, don't mute yourself. Just talk. It's all right. I'm drinking water
Sitting in a
anyways.
room all by myself and had headphones on. I got poked on my shoulder. And nobody was in my room. And I had my door locked and the lights off. It was a venting day, so my demon was comforting me. I think I might as well turn into a paragraph, but more paranormal stuff. I live on Kansas, Missouri border. Maybe someday it knows but I'm in a town called Fort Scott, Kansas, and we're built around a Civil War. Ah, okay.
Huh. That's interesting.
Download the Fox, and good night.
So we would use like amethyst and whatnot to be able to like control talking to that, because you can summon it, but you want to keep it bound. And I actually found out, I think only about 3 months ago, from a girl that I never really cared for crystals. Like obviously like gems and whatnot are technically crystals, but like the belief that like there's a crystal for everything. I've never really looked into it because just for some reason it never interested me.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to learn it, right? But I was talking with a girl that is into that, and she mentioned that she uses amethyst to be able to like seal stuff from coming through. I guess there's like a gate in like her one forest or whatever. And I was like, wait, you use amethyst for what? And she was like, you know, to keep things from coming over from like their own like side. And I was like, this has nothing to do with vampiric. And yet it's almost exactly what we used. We used it to summon but keep in place the thing that we would talk to. When you think about it, we technically brought it and trapped it where it was. Right? So it was like,
yes, Guma.
It was a very like interesting thing to learn, right? So I was learning from this vampiric guy, and the way that I've always seen it is I want to learn as much as I can, but once it gets into like the more advanced things, right? I want to learn all the basics, and then I will find something specifically in a practice that I want to learn, because there's a difference between religion and practice, right?
Yes.
Because like if you were to tell like
Hi.
say an eclectic witch, right, that's her religion, she'd just look at you like you're retarded. Like she'd be like, bro, that is not, it's a practice, it's not a religion. Like I don't believe in a particular god, I believe in Mother Earth, right? Which is one thing I do as well, because that coincides with natives. And I believe that a lot of like native stuff, because there's a lot of crossover with like native and like different forms of paganism, even though those are completely separate. Like there was an ocean, like there was a big pond in the middle of that. So
yeah, there's tons of crossover stuff when it comes to those two. Background things. A lot of them very earth based.
Yeah, well, cool. If you think about it, there's in Europe, right, where paganism and whatnot all comes from, like the various different types of witchcraft. There's the Fae. Well, in Native American, there's the spirits.
Yeah.
And they're the exact same thing, but they're also different because the land is different. The earth there is different. Actually, I want to get into this real quick, if you don't mind. There's a scary story.
No, it's okay. I just got a text message. My friend says he's not really thrilled about his wife being in the bondage, but his hands are tied, so. I'll see myself out.
That was good. Okay. All right. All right. There was a dad joke. Yeah, there was a dad joke redeemed. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. I was like, that must have been a dad joke. You know what's really funny? I love there's people in your chat right now that don't know me, right? Everyone in chat that does this never seen me before. Can you just say me in chat? I just want to see just something really funny. Everyone in your chat that has never met me before, just type in me. Or I haven't, or whatever. I gotta show you something really neat. Alright. Because it's gonna be really funny. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. P.S. He's a mod.
I just lurk.
So watch your shit.
Yeah. I just see stuff and I'm just like, Fricks, did you notice this? And he's like, oh, you're here? Like, I'm like, I'm often.
Yeah,
here.
he's been a mod for a heckin' while. I think after the 6 months of knowing you, he turned into a mod here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember because he's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm a mod. It's like, aha!
Yeah. It's like, oh
yeah, you've met Trash Mouse before, Kotaku.
Because when that happened, I was just kind of chilling in your chat, and I was like, "Why the fuck am I a mod? What did you do that for?" You're like, "Cause you're here, and you
Not
know how to
only
moderate
that,
a chat."
I
And I
trust
was like,
your better judgment.
I mean, I give a little bit more leeway on your stream because on mine, I'm like, "Ah, you're stupid. Bye bye." Like,
Oh yeah, no,
oh,
no.
that
no,
was
my-
your first
my-
message. It's
I'm-
also your last. Like,
I know. I'm pretty lenient on my stream to a point. You start
Yeah.
getting, if you start getting triple X up in here, it's like, yeah, no.
yeah, that's my streams.
It's like I know, like I got the anime waifu thing going on, but like, nah, gee, it ain't.
Yeah,
This ain't it. This ain't it. But other than that, like,
I purposely made
good.
a very androgynous boy for a reason.
I mean, well, yeah, androgynous, androgyny, yeah. But like, all
Yeah.
my characters, I know can be easily wooed. So
Yeah, I mean, all I do is,
Did you want me to use this voice instead? I really could. I could host the rest of the stream if you really want.
and it still fits the model.
also, I've
Listen,
worked on all my expressions on my character. So listen.
I need the gasm one soon. What did I miss? We were talking about supernatural stuff so far, like my belief system,
Oh,
how
it's
I got
another
into
Maddie.
it. It's another Maddie.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Oh well.
And I can't do his. It's too like obviously a man, but like it ironically
Yeah.
can't do that one. Like mine is just like
You really want me to talk like this?
Kitty,
I
this is
could.
Trash Mouse. Trash _ mouse __.
he's me.
Because he didn't like the hyphen. He just wanted the underscore.
No, the hyphen isn't
instead.
allowed.
I couldn't resist.
Oh man, I want just normal trash mouse. All right, but
The
so I
hyphen.
want to get into this actually really quick because I mentioned the Fae and the supernatural
Mhm.
type of aspect to it, right? And the
Yeah.
Fae are European, right? And then in North America, there's spirits, all right? And that's the native culture. Now, I want to say that they're the same basis, but they're separate. You know, it's kind of like how different breeds of dog, right? They're both dogs, but you know, a Chihuahua and you know a Tibetan Mastiff, way different.
Very different.
You know, one hunts bears, the other one hunts ankles. Okay, like there's a very
The other
big
one,
difference.
one protects the house. The other one's a football. Yeah, I got you.
In extreme situations, the average Chihuahua can be punted 35 yards.
Extreme.
I mean,
pretty sure I'd
35
be at
yards is
least
really
get-
far.
No, it's not. I'm pretty sure we could at least get 55.
That's over 100 feet with
Yeah,
a
you do
punt,
it.
not a kick, a punt.
Oh, a punt. I thought we were just talking about that. That's a... Yes, Kitty.
Oh
we're
man, I
talking
really
about
gotta quit smoking. Oh.
I watched the stream VOD after and ended with Frosted. Thought I was still in chat after I said hi, and when I came back, Frosted was like, "Hey, Salty, you see something new next to your name?" And I was like, "What?" Yeah, that's when Salty became a
God.
mod on my chat, and I modded him. And he left, and I'm like, "You
You
son of a bitch!"
son of a bitch.
Little nightmares. Ice bank. Ice bank.
Oh man. Nani?
You should.
It's to say I spank myself, and no, you have to say it this.
I spank myself.
I know what it said.
I know, I
purposely
just wanted
fucking
to
with
say
them.
it.
I get messed with a lot. Someone actually followed me with that name yesterday.
I just wanted to say it.
Hmm
Alright, so I was like, no, they want you to say this. Alright, but yeah. So getting into that though. There's I'm jumping all over the place with this, because this isn't even going into like my belief system anymore.
Yeah,
'cause
we
I
haven't
even
said
gotten
any
to like
stories yet.
yeah, I'm about to though. Alright, that's what this is gonna be.
2 hours in.
Gecky,
2 hours in
why
story
you gotta
time.
do the
Okay.
ooh voice. I mean, it's only an hour and 40 minutes.
I round.
Yeah, I round up. So, we there was this girl that I was seeing for a little bit, right? And she was an eclectic witch, right? And that's like its own branch out paganism, like how Wiccan is. and
Yeah.
we were having a night where we like experienced. So I have this thing that's been following me since I was 11 years old.
Oh,
Why
yeah,
am I
no,
putting
there
all
is
this together? Why is this just happening now that I'm
There
just
is
figuring
records
out?
of dragons from every continent.
Yes,
There's
there is.
also pyramids on every continent as well.
Yes. This is actually really concerning that I'm just putting this together now. That all this happened when I was like 11 years old. Weird. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe I was 10, but whatever. I've had this thing
That's good
following
age.
me since 4th grade. Okay, so I would have been. No, I was 11. I was 11 because it was the summer between 4th and 5th grade.
Right, Wraithy.
So I had this buddy who lived across the street, and he was like 3 houses over. Okay, and so directly across the street, and then 3 to the left, right? And my houses were like, I think they're called semi-attached. They're like 1 building, 2 homes,
Thank you for the bits, Yanko.
with no access to either home. There's a door on either side of the building, right, that you go into. And they're just like full-size houses, but you know, like you're just divided down the middle type thing. And there's no like door to get between them, right? There's just like on the left side and on the right side at the front, there's a door to get into that house. And I was going across the street. I was bringing my blanket with me because I was going to my buddy's place. And I'm like 10. No, I was 11 because it was after my birthday. And as I'm crossing the street, or about to cross the street because I was at the end of my laneway, I heard this like howl, screech, scream kind of noise that I've never heard before, right? And it was so loud, right? And like my head just like swung around, right? I just lost track of how fast it was. I was like, right? And I like looked up on top of my house where it came from, right? Because I've got really sensitive hearing. I know where things are.
Yeah.
And I saw this thing that it's. Hopefully everyone has played. Actually, no, I'll use a better example than that. So it had like a face that was sort of like a horse, but it was very thin, right? And it had like a humanoid body. All right, arms were a little bit too long, had really long like fingers on it that were like shaped into claws, and it had legs sort of like the back legs of a dog. Okay, and it was standing on its back legs. Okay, and fun fact, actually, since that night, I've always walked on my toes the same way it walks, which is kind of weird. But it also had this tattoo on the side, or not tattoo, but like this like red glowing design on the side of it, and its eyes were glowing red. So I'm gonna hop over to my model because I actually have it on my model. So let me just turn this so you can kind of see it. There's like right there. That's the design that it had on it. On either side of it. That's why it's on my model. Okay. That's how like too much of my life this thing has been. Alright. I think I'm set the way I was. No, I was like this.
You're smaller now.
Now I'm bigger.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. So let me go back over to here. So I saw that and I was like, what the fuck? And I was kind of frozen for a second. I was like, I don't have a flight response, but I was like, this is something I need to get the fuck away from.
Hi,
right?
Rozzy.
And I was like, yeah, I'm not able to deal with that. I'm like 10 or 11, right? Like I'm a little baby, you know?
Yeah.
So sorry I'm late. I never got the notification. No worries, it's okay. Oh yeah, show that.
No one ever does.
Yeah, right. But so like I ran across the street, right? And I have my blanket with me still. And as I'm running across the street, I glanced and looked behind me. And I saw that it ran across the house, like the roof of the house, and jumped the gap of the laneways to the next house. Well, these laneways, because they're side-by-side houses that are semi-attached, each laneway is large enough to have 2 cars comfortably sit next to each other, with plenty of room to walk between them on both sides. Like, plenty of room, right?
So
and it jumped the gap. It jumped that onto the next house. And then, obviously, I was like, oh shit, type thing, right? And as I'm running, right, I saw it jump off the roof onto the ground. And I get to my buddy's door and I start bang, 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 bang on the door. And my friend's parents had opened the door like, what's going on type thing, right? And they saw it. And they literally grabbed me and pulled me inside of the house. The exact same moment that they pulled me inside the house and like slammed the door behind me, he came running downstairs. saying that something with the same face of the thing that I just saw, with yellow eyes, peered under, like, because the roof, like, you could see, like, the lip of the roof from, like, your bedroom windows in those houses, on the second floor, right? Because it was just, like, an overhang. And he saw something peer into his window from on the roof. I ran towards one. I didn't know I ran towards one.
No.
Luckily, it was on the other side of the building, and it didn't see me. But that's probably why the other one screamed, because it saw me. Alright, and the other one probably got the attention too, and saw where I was going and was probably trying to find a way in, right? And, but my buddy was in that room and screamed and came running down the stairs, right? So that probably alarmed it, because it was like, oh shit, I've been caught, right? And, like, he came running down the stairs, and his parents both heavily into drugs, right? But coincidentally, they hadn't gotten high in a couple days, right? And they were like trying to better themselves or some shit. So like they weren't they weren't doing bad, right? But they kept all the drugs in the basement, and we were never allowed down there. And like they were like, get to the basement now, right? And we're like, okay, run down to the basement. Luckily, I brought my blanket with me, and him and I were like didn't fall asleep until like super late into the night, and you know, just kind of like slept down there. And they were even down there like, what the fuck was that? The one that chased him, or it didn't chase him, it looked into his window, it had yellow. And then, ever since then, things haven't been able to get close to me. Like, any supernatural stuff. Like, there's, like, almost like a bubble around me that I put up. And that thing has followed me. Right? It's always, like, followed me since then. Right? Until back in December. When I was seeing this girl. Who was also a witch. Right? And I was like, well, that's kind of weird. He's always around. Like, it's, again, like, how you can feel, like, the feeling of heat hitting you from a heater, right? But there's not actually anything touching you, right? It's sort of like that with it. Yeah. So, you know, like you kind of have that feeling of it. It's always around. And sorry, I gotta drink more water. Holy shit. Are you laughing at the parkour thing?
No,
so
every time you drink water, you get this.
Oh yeah, my head goes back because it gets like all like blanked out. So we he stopped being around. I was like, well, that's kind of weird, but okay, I guess I don't really need him, because like nothing ever would get close to me, and things that would try and get to that bubble, it's kind of like you can feel something pushing against like your shirt, but it's not actually pushing against you. That's kind of what the bubble feels like to me, right?
Yeah.
But it's like farther away because it's about like 20 feet, right? And he couldn't come inside it, not unless I were to like draw him, right? Which is weird, because I think that was like my brain of like putting down like that barrier, I guess, that he was able to get close. So, but he had went away, and I was like, that, okay. But things would never come near me, and when they did, he would chase them off. So I was like, okay. So I think him and I kind of like built up like a mutual understanding of each other over time, because I didn't try to get rid of him. And I think he full well understood, because by this point I started learning it. I've become super blurry on your screen, dude.
Give it a second to readjust. Or lots of seconds. Or many seconds.
What if I like turn off my webcam and turn it back on? Do you think that'll work?
Hold on. That's fine where you went.
I could just turn off my webcam and turn it back on. That'll probably fix it.
There you go.
Did it fix it?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, you're blurry in the Discord.
Oh.
That's why.
All right, hold on.
Ah yes, the conversation with. Better. Yeah. Okay.
There we go.
It's all your fault.
Hold on, I gotta fix something on my.
One eternity later.
Hey, it wasn't that long. You were really close. Like, you are like... No. This is getting too lewd. This is too lewd for stream. Yeah, yeah, salty. Now kiss. No. I did nothing. Alright,
What?
What?
What? Are you being lewd?
I did not. Alright. Just walk away. Oh, man. But, so, brain work. Where was I? Oh, yeah, he went away, and I was like, oh, okay, odd. But not a big deal, I guess. Maybe he just decided he wanted to leave. Because, like, I could have gotten rid of him. He saw that I'd learned so much on, like, protection and stuff, and I'd never used anything against him, right? Actually, the 2 rings that I wear, one of them, has, like, a protection, type of enchantment on it, and the other one, and they're both made of silver. In my belief system, it doesn't need to be pure silver. They're sterling silver works just fine. Silver is the main component. So my main, like, my middle finger ring, or sorry, my pinky ring is a protection one, so things can't touch me, right? And my middle finger ring, it's kind of like a barrier, like pushing things out, right? So think of it as like one's a shield, one's a suit of armor, right? They both have the same effect, but they do it in different ways, right? Oh god, they put it in your chat, but you can see it now.
What is this? What degeneracy? What degeneracy? Oh, on your screen I was close.
Yeah, you were. That's what I was saying. You got really close, and then when you leaned in, you were like right on my shoulder. I was like, oh.
I didn't know I was that close. See how separated we are? We could put a whole person between us. I mean, 6 feet. 6 feet.
I did nothing. All right.
Boy.
Yes.
Bored. Anyways.
So I was like, all right, that's kind of weird, but I guess he's gone. Whatever. Kind of sucks because I started calling him Buddy, right? And I was like, that's my buddy, right? So anyone that was able to see stuff like that or feel that kind of stuff, because like he would show himself to people that he wanted to have see him, right? But if you were just in tune with stuff, you could see him anyways, right? And like, if anyone was like, what the fuck is that? Because like it obviously was a little spoopy to look at. You know, have like this like nearly 7 foot tall, long, like horse face thing with glowing red eyes, red designs on either side of it that are glowing, right? It's got like elephant like skin. Its skin is all like a very dark charcoal gray. Like, yeah, I'm not sure you can tell. Kind of an influence on my color scheme a little bit, you know, the dark charcoal, you know.
And the pink, yeah, so, I gotcha.
Well, I mean, he's red, but yeah.
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah. I wish he was pink. He's so cute. And like the creepy ass legs, right? And like the long ass fucking claws. So people be sitting there like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh, that's my buddy. Don't worry about it. And they're like, I'm sorry, you're what? And I'm like, that's my buddy, right? Does your buddy have the yellow? No, actually, that friend of mine, he was never really in tune with that kind of stuff. He saw it for like, I think about a month after that, and then he never saw it again. But like they were always on the roofs across the street from me, just staring at me in my bedroom window, right? And I just like look out and stare him down, like, what are you gonna fucking do? I know you can't get close now. Like I can feel it. There's something that you walk into. Like, what are you gonna do? Try it. Fucking try it. And they just couldn't get close, so they just kind of always watched. And then the yellow one just kind of disappeared one day, and I was like, okay, well maybe he went back to where the fuck he's from. Angel says hi. Hi, Angel.
Hi.
So, I was looking into a lot of things, and I only recently, and I say recently, but it was like back around like July, August, discovered like skinwalkers and like Goatman and, you know, shit like that. Like obviously I've heard of a Wendigo before, but you know, like there's obviously that's native stuff, right? But like skinwalkers are more of like southern kind of like native stuff. I only learned like Canadians like native stuff. Like skinwalkers are a thing here, but they aren't taught. They are not taught to people that are outside of the tribe, because it's just something they don't do, right? They don't talk about it. So I was like, oh, Okay, well, neat. So I end up like asking a few native friends about stuff, and they're like, yeah, that, okay, interesting. But so Buddy had been gone for about 2 weeks, and this girl that I was seeing, she had like a very different type of energy than like most witches, but I've never met an electric witch before her. And so she was kind of like an amp to what I could feel. It was just like, it would build a lot of energy, and I'd be like, okay, I can feel things differently than I normally can. Like, it makes me a lot more attuned. I can feel stuff farther away. I get like more control over what I've got, stuff like that. And she was a great person, right? Her and I don't talk anymore, just because, you know, life happens, right? But I hold nothing against her. Like, if she wanted to talk to me today, I'd talk to her as if nothing has ever happened, because, you know, she's a great person. We just apparently didn't work out, which is fine. So we went to, she was like, did you want to see, there's a church where there's a blackened grave. It's porcelain, but it's black. It's not black porcelain. It's something on the outside of it. And every time it gets washed, it goes back to being a white porcelain. It slowly just has this black splotches start appearing on it, right? Which is like really, really weird, right? And so she's like, do you want to come see this? I was like, hell yeah, that sounds cool as fuck, right? Because she lives in a different town than me. I live in, you know, obviously my town. And it's in her town. I was like, alright, cool, because, you know, small town Canada, you know, like there's all sorts of weird shit, right? And as we're sitting there, or as we're driving there, we're nearly there, I felt Buddy, and I was like, what the? And I kind of like glanced up, and I saw him up on like the one roof as we were driving past, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I felt him kind of like his energy kind of coming.
Fuck.
Yeah, well, I felt like his energy kind of like coming, following us. Oh, the horror string jump scare, yeah. So I felt him coming, but like on the like towards us, right, as we're driving. But he's moving way faster than he's ever moved before, right? And I was like, okay, this is weird, right? Like, obviously, I know he can't get close because I felt him kind of touch that bubble. Right?
Thank you for the follow, Senpai. God damn it. Scared the shit out of me. Continue your story while I breathe.
Right. So, we... he kind of followed us all the way to, like, this graveyard. Oof. Why we move? Pork.
Pork?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It happens. So, we end up sitting here and we're looking at the grave. I was like, yo, that's fucking neat. Like, that's got a weird energy to it. She's like, what? Don't get under the table, you weirdo.
You're scaring me.
Well, on my screen, that's a lot more lewd than you want it to be.
Listen, on my screen, we have at least a person and people apart. Mr. Man.
I don't like that, though. I like to be intimate.
18 feet. 25
18
feet.
feet.
45 feet. 17 feet.
Oh, man. If you want, I can make us smaller and farther apart.
We're promoting good social distancing.
Yeah, but the virtual way is the only way I can be around anyone right now. Why would you take that away from me? You got the Titanic flute. Oh, God.
Oh, no. Salty, why?
Why did that happen? Oh, no. Don't go under the table, Frosted. Damn it, Salty. Oh, man. So, as we're looking at this grave, I was like, that's a really weird energy. I've never felt that before. That's kind of neat. And she's like, what? And it's like, yeah, like, it's... The closest thing would be, like, your energy, but it's not. Right? And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, it's got, like, you know, European, like, fae kind of energy to it. And she was like, that's called the witch's grave. And I was like, oh. Well, she fucked with something. Because not even her dead body is allowed to rest. And she was like, oh. Yeah, I'm not going to go close to that one again. Because to her, that's scary. To me, yeah. Fair to be respected, right? But they don't have nearly as much power over here. This is more of like the native spirits, right? They have more power. And even though they're pretty much the same things, like what I said, different types of dog, right? Now, I'm just as afraid of like a Rottweiler as I am a Pit Bull type idea, right? Like they're both big dogs, right? Or both, they can be aggressive dogs, right? They're not, but both of them are lovable. They're just dogs. They're however you train them, but they can be very aggressive, dangerous dogs, right? Because, well, they got a bite force, and they're able to like fuck you up, right? So I don't fuck with Fae. I'm just not afraid of them, right? And I don't have a flight response. I just have like, who am I gonna kill? Like, I don't go into like a freeze. I don't do a panic. I'm just like, time to fight. Let's see what happens. So we're as we're about to leave, and every time that Buddy is around, he's staring directly at me. He does not look away, right? Ever. And as we started to drive away, I had my hand on her leg because don't Chihuahuas have a bigger bite force per square inch? Yeah, but it's still not a lot. That's like saying like your tongue is the strongest muscle in your body because it moves the most amount of weight per day.
No, I'm the biggest.
Like, or in your lifetime. So they're just whatever. And did you say the biggest? You're still way smaller than me. What are you talking about?
No, I just did this like whoosh.
Oh, okay, I see. Oh.
No,
Perspective's a bitch.
I'm just small to begin with, so like
Yeah.
I think this is accurate for height difference.
I'm 6 foot on the dot. Though my model is only 5'6", so because I want to be small boy. I want to be taller than most girls, but smaller than most boys.
There,
Oh no. But yeah, so Buddy's always looking at me whenever he's around, right? Because obviously he'd been gone for like 2 weeks. And then I had my hand on her leg as we started to drive. And like we were just starting to drive, right? So not too much speed, right? Like maybe like 15 kilometers an hour, right? And then he looked away from me and looked at something, and immediately my like response was, there's something bad, right? Because the only time he looks away is if he's chasing something off, right? And like I just like squeezed her leg, and immediately she was like, oh god, there's a panic response, I guess, even though that's not what it was. I was just kind of like, what is happening, right? And she put her foot on the brakes, and the largest fucking doe I've seen in my entire life, right? Like, I've seen bucks, full-sized adult male bucks, like deer, and they were smaller than this doe. This thing was massive, came flying in front of our car, right? And then immediately we got like a weird energy, and I was like, okay, interesting. But it didn't feel like the grave that we were just near, right? And by the way, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, so going to graveyards in the middle of the fucking night in like a small town, fun.
Always a smart place to go.
Oh yeah, definitely. And there was nowhere that deer could have come from, because there was houses across from that cemetery, not houses with big backyards.
Yeah.
So there's no way a deer was back there. So we're like, okay. She's like, how did you see that? Because I was looking the other way. And I was like, I didn't. He did. And then she glanced up, was like, your buddy is over there now? And I was like, yeah, he followed us. She was like, oh, because she'd never heard about him before, right? And obviously he knew that I'm comfortable with her and could tell that she has some type of energy. So, no, do you still feel him? Yeah, he's literally outside right now. I can feel whereabouts he is. He just can't enter my home because there's that bubble around me. And then also I have like runes in my house that they can't come in. Things can't come in my house anymore because I got spooked by something. But I'll get into that later. So we end up driving. We go and check another place where it was like burned down. A bunch of like girls died or something. And we're like, okay, well, I don't really feel any like I've never really been one for like. Sounds weird. Never really been good with ghosts. Like it's just not something I can feel. Ironically, that was like the first thing that I ever had experience with. Are you okay?
Well, I'm fine. I'm fine. Continue.
What's up?
Everything's fine.
What happened?
Everything's
Oh, jump scared. 250 bits.
Yeah.
I see. So we were like, okay, well, I don't really feel anything over here. Nothing like demonic, nothing like evil. So we're like, all right, cool. And we ended up like just going and driving. She's like, so there's this spot where I saw this thing in the woods, and I have no idea what it was, but it was like really tall, and it had like a wolf head, and it was like a person. And I'm like, well, werewolves aren't actually real. Like lycanthropy, like the study of that is like more attunement with like understanding animals. It's like werewolves aren't real, I don't think, right? Like that couldn't be. That doesn't make any sense scientifically, right? Because I was looking at everything from a science standpoint too, right? And that's like, to me, it's just energies, right? And like there's got to be other dimensions. Like if you were to put two black holes next to each other, you can time travel to before you actually went through like one of those black holes. Because if you go through the gravitational pull of one, you go into the other, and you actually go back in time before you went through it. So I look at stuff like there's things that are hard to explain, but it doesn't mean that they're unexplainable, right? This is just like magic is just science that we don't understand yet, right? That's pretty much how it's always been. Like, what was alchemy except for basic chemistry, right?
True.
So it's just they didn't understand it yet, so it's just something that we still don't understand. And so she's explaining about how she was going through the woods, and she was with some of like the girls that she was teaching her practice to, and then suddenly they weren't around anymore, even though they were all just walking together, and she was by herself. And as she was walking, she heard she said it was like hearing something quiet from far away through a speakerphone, so it was loud, right? And she heard like some kind of like weird screamy type noise. I don't remember exactly what it was. And she heard it one way, and then she heard it another way, and then when she turned her head, she saw like this really tall, and I mean like really tall, like humanoid figure with like a wolf head with like with like white or gray silverish kind of fur. Well, as she's explaining this to me, we're walking up to that very same forest, right? But she was explaining all that, and then she mentioned that she ended up like running, and then ended up running into them in the middle of the woods. And they're like, "Where did you go?" And she's like, "Where did you go?" Right? Like, we were all together, and then suddenly you weren't there, and they didn't experience anything, but she did, right? So I was like, okay. And before she'd explain what it looked like, I just kind of stopped, and I was like, "What did it look like?" She was like, "What?" I was like, "What did it look like?" Because I realized as we're walking through this field, because it's 2 soccer fields length, right? Because there's 2 soccer fields there, so that's how I know the exact length. And we're walking towards the forest. Well, there's a tree line that cuts. Buddy stopped in the tree line behind us. There was plenty of time for him to move to the other tree line that was connected to the one ahead of us, right? Because it goes around the field. But he didn't. And I was like, "What did it look like?" And she's like, "Why?" Because I started walking again slowly. And she was like, "Why?" I'm like, "Just tell me what it looked like." And she was like, "Okay." Right? And she goes, "It was a really tall humanoid with like a dog head." And I just stopped. And she was like, "What?" And I went, "Has there always been a white tree between those 2 trees over there?" She's like, "There's no, like, spruce, or not spruce, birch in this forest."
Birch, yeah.
Yeah, like, there's no birch in this forest. And I was like, "What's that then?" Right? And literally, as I said that, she looked over at it, and as she was looking over, to her, she heard something run past her. I didn't hear anything. I have sensitive hearing. I'm really attuned to things.
Yeah.
I'm attuned to a lot of things. I didn't hear that. So maybe those noises that she heard before, only she can hear, right? And she's constantly drawn back to this forest. She wants to go meet this thing again, but she keeps having something stop her, right? And then I saw it move towards the edge of the woods. And I was just like, I don't have a flight response, right? And I looked at it. I was like, "We need to get out of here right now." And she was like, "What?" I was like, "We need to leave right now." And I'm walking backwards at this point. Like, I'm just kind of like moving back, right? Staring at it.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Okay." And she turns around, and I'm walking backwards fast, right? And she's like, "Why?" Like, as she saw it, she was like, "Why?" And I'm like, "That's native." And she was like, "What?" I was like, "That's native. We don't mess with that. And she was like, I'm like, "I don't have a flight response. That is telling me to leave. We need to leave right now." Because I was feeling a weird energy when we were still in the truck or in our car before we even got out. And I was like, "What is that?" Buddy clearly isn't, like, my thing isn't native, clearly. Or if he is, he's not as strong as whatever the fuck that was. So if you let Buddy in, what do you think would happen? Nothing. At this point, there's camaraderie between us. I doubt he'd do anything to
Oh.
me. I have
So
more
what if
than
I
enough
can't
ability.
spell the word apocalypse? Not like it's the end of the world.
Fucking dad jokes.
Mhm.
So
Hello.
I had like that was weird, and she, in that exact moment, as we started walking away, she heard a name and she saw symbols in her head, and I was like, this is so fucking weird. She was like, why? Right? Like, obviously she was a little bit tripped out by it too, because I again was not afraid. I was like, we need to leave now. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not, like, we need to get away from this, right? And we got into her car, and as we're driving back, earlier that same fucking day, I watched a video that pretty much explained exactly what just happened to us, and I was like, what the fuck? But it was from somewhere out west in the States, and instead of a doe, it was like moose that ran by, and it didn't look like a wolf. It looked like a bear, and it wasn't as tall. And I was like, what the fuck? Why is this so similar to what just happened to us? Right? And so I played that video for her again, because I already watched it earlier that day, and she was like, what the fuck? And I was like, I don't know, right? So we got back to her place, and she goes over to her journal, and she starts writing down everything that had happened, right? Because, you know, I don't know why witches do what they do. I'm not going to question it. It works for them, right? But then she wrote down the name that she heard, and then the images that were popped in her head, right? So we were like, okay, weird, but I know some native stuff, right? That sounds a lot like a native name. We look it up on Google, right? Which sounds stupid, right? But the best research tool that we have at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Libraries are closed. There's a whole COVID thing going on, right? So we Google it, and you know how there's like all those like different name directories, like the amount of people that are born with this name. One person born with that name, no known ethnicity, no name, no known origin, no like where the name's from, right? No known country. One person born with this name. How the fuck do you know there's a person with it then? But we're like, okay, maybe we spelled it wrong. Look it up, no hits, right? Only result was that like website that said that. And we're like, okay. And then we started looking at the images that she drew, and I was like, those are native tribe signs. Like, those are what they used to use to tell you about things in the area, like back in like pioneer time type shit, right? And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah. So we started looking up like the old native tribe things, right? Like the different sigils and what they mean. And one of them was because she said that she didn't feel like a bad energy, a sad one, but not a bad one. I just felt like this is a don't come the fuck over here type thing. And the symbols, like one of them was forever home, which means also like this is where our village is going to be, right? It's not started yet, right? But forever home. And another one meant captivity. And then another one meant home. But it wasn't quite right, the one, because it was a teepee, right? But it had a circle and a line going through it. I was like, do you think that your brain used like a modern understanding, because there wasn't an actual thing for that? So it says like, this is his forever home. He's captive there. Don't live here. Turns out, in the past like 2 years, 6 homeless people have died in that forest, mauled to death by something much bigger than bears, because we don't have grizzly bears in this area, just black bears.
No.
And they're omnivores, and they would rather get berries. A black bear will not normally fuck with a person, no matter, especially if they smell like booze, right?
Yeah.
And they had like gashes that were huge across them. My brain went, homeless people. Only homeless people that tried to sleep in that forest were killed. They tried to make it their home. He stuck there. He killed them. Okay. Great. And Buddy didn't want to go anywhere near it, so I was like, glad you're around, Buddy. I knew something was up the second you didn't want to walk with us.
Cody, thanks for the follow. Ha ha ha. Ha ha.
But yeah, there's all sorts of weird shit like that.
Ha ha. Ha ha.
What? What? What did you do?
Look, it's a Lakota name for white deer. I'm trying to remember it.
I don't know.
Hmm.
My demon just poked me, and my cat felt it. He's going crazy.
So
Well, that
so
same girl,
can
I made her some. Oh yeah, go ahead.
okay. So I got some. As I said, I got lots of spooky stories. Um. So I'm pretty sensitive to a lot of things, as I've
Mhm.
said in the past, and I believe every type of spirit has its own unique ability, I guess you could call it. And some can poke you, some can whisper, some move stuff, some do things. But the one thing I'm not sure if you've ever experienced this is the one thing that I hate the most are the ones that can put images in your head.
I already hallucinate, so I don't really notice that.
Huh?
I hallucinate, so I don't really notice when that happens. If it
Ah,
does.
okay. So this
Yeah.
is a wonderful one.
Schizophrenia.
Yeah. Now I lived in an older house. I think it's like 2 houses ago, and there was this issue that I had with the basement. I never liked
Okay.
the basement. I always hated the basement. And every time I walk into the basement, I get this really weird aura coming from it. Anyways, I
Okay.
get this really weird aura coming from it. And what ended up happening was uh just on the left side of the furnace as you went down, there was a circle on the ground. The circle was like a cracked circle. And every time you'd go down there, you'd feel something come from that circle. Then one time I went down there, and I remember I looked at it and I stared at it like dead ass at the top of the stairs, just stopped in my tracks. And what I saw wasn't my basement, but a well, and someone was hanging over it.
What?
And I'm like,
That's not okay.
I quickly turned around, and I was still in my house, but my basement wasn't a basement. And I turned around and shut the door, and as I shut the door, it was gone. And I'm like, I what? And I didn't know how to explain it. And I was so freaked out. I wouldn't go down there for like a week. I contacted a friend of mine who literally lived up the road, who's told me he was a little sensitive to stuff like this. And I'm like, okay. Hmm.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
I
like,
don't even
could you
know
come
if you
over?
say
I
that.
just
That's
want,
kind of.
I didn't tell him what I saw. I didn't tell him anything. I said, could you come over? I want to show you something. He's like, oh, okay. He comes over. I'm like, you're sensitive to this stuff, right? He goes, yeah. I'm like, I'm not going to tell you what I saw. I'm not going to tell you what I feel. I want you to go to my basement. He's like, okay.
Are you about to
Then
murder me?
well, no, I stood at the, there was a landing, and then there was a turn, then there was the top of the basement. And I just
Uh,
stood there and I stared at him. He opens the door, steps on the first step, and froze in place.
Get me the fuck out of here!
And then he,
Yeah.
like, I saw him make the same face I made, turned around and shut the door, and he looked at me and goes, what the fuck was that? I'm like,
I
what'd
don't
you
know.
see? And he goes, I saw a well with a person hanging over it. I never told him what it was.
That's fucking wild. What the fuck?
I
Yeah,
I
I don't
hated.
normally get that kind of thing.
Oh no, that was not a good thing. That I didn't like what was in that basement. To further
Yeah.
keep going, when what that basement was, I hated it. I never felt comfortable in there. I always felt like something was staring at me, no matter
Yeah.
where I went in that basement. And the worst part was, there was a time where I had a it's just feeling I got, yeah. And I remember I was in the basement once, and I was on the phone with my mom, and I was doing laundry. And as I'm doing laundry, I get goosebumps talking about this because I still feel it to this day.
Yeah.
Um, as I'm doing laundry, and I remembered this. Um, I'm putting clothes into the wash dryer. No, it's the wash. No, it's the dryer. I was taking clothes out and putting it into yeah. I was putting it into the dryer because it was the front loader. And
Okay.
I remember I like she would cut out on the phone. This was older phones. She would cut out on the phone, and I'd be like, "Oh," but every time the phone would cut out, I always felt like the room got smaller. Like
Okay.
something was,
Kind of like confining you.
yeah, confining me. And it would cut out, and the room felt smaller. Like I felt like the room was literally closing in on me. And I talked to her for a little bit again. She goes, "Everything okay?" I'm like, "Nah, the phone keeps cutting out." But never once did I stop and turn around. And oh, you died.
I was fixing myself.
Oh, okay. Never once did I stop and turn around because it was one of those things where like you feel something behind you and you don't want that feeling. Yeah, it got him. And I have a serious flight issue. I'll bolt.
Wait, am I not
Like
back
I
yet?
run. No, you're not back yet.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's still saying you're not sure. There you are.
Yeah,
And
I am.
yeah, it probably just took a second. So, anyways, on the final moment, like the phone completely cut out, and I was suffocating. I couldn't quite figure out what was going on. It was hard to breathe. It was so closed, and that's when I decided to turn around. And all I remember was at that point in time, something was point blank in front of my face that I couldn't define what it was, but I know it was human esque. And it stopped, and I looked at it, and I was frozen. I was frozen in fear. It didn't make a sound. It quickly lunged back, hit the wall, and ran across the wall into the corner. And to that, my mind goes, run. And
Oh, sorry. I had to.
I lived in a four-story. It was like a four-story house going from basement to the attic. So first and second floor, basement and attic. I ran to the second floor, and I can definitely say I have never run so fast upstairs. Like my nephew who lived with me at the time, like what happened was, and I really ran a risk doing this, but I ran up the stairs and busted through his door, and he's sitting there and he's like, "What the fuck, dude?" I'm like, you're coming with me." And he's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Just don't ask questions. Just come with me. I need to finish my laundry."
That was what you were concerned about.
Oh no, I was scared.
Fuck
shitless.
the laundry.
I
Fuck the
explained to
laundry.
him-
Fuck
on
the
our way
laundry.
down. Yeah, on our way down, I explained to him what happened. He goes,
You
"What
go
the
nude
fuck?"
now. You don't have clothing anymore. Fuck that. Like,
Yeah, the clothes are gone. Just set it on fire. Walk away.
no, just
And-
buy out everything new. Move
Yeah.
out.
Move out. No, that's pretty much what happened. But like,
Yeah.
I explained what happened. He goes, "Yeah, I get weird feelings down here every now and then." But I also know he wasn't as in tune with it as I was, and like maybe he just learned to put like he subconsciously learned to build a barrier around like not
Yeah, that's
noticing
the
stuff
thing.
like this.
Mm.
But I told him I was so uncomfortable, and he goes, "Okay, there's no problem. I'll be down here with you while you do your laundry." I'm like, "Thanks." And then like occasionally with that house, I mean, there was multiple spirits living in it. Like you'd hear walking in a hallway, you'd hear talking every now and then. And like this was my sister's old house, and I always didn't like the basement particularly. And I remember when we moved in shortly, I noticed some things over the door. Every door in the house had a cross burned into it. Like a small cross burned over every door. And I'm like, they didn't. That's why. That makes sense.
It's trapped in the
'Cause-
basement.
It's not only trapped in a basement. I believe my brother my brother had a priest come in to perform an exorcism on that house. Well, brother-in-law. He was very religious.
Hmm.
And I had a strong feeling because my nephew who lived with them, like, it was the weirdest thing. Like one year when my brother was really getting into his faith, and I believe this was the year they performed the exorcism on the house. That was the same year my nephew decided to go AWOL and just disappear. He ran away from home and couldn't keep living in there, and he disappeared for a year. They found him at a gas station. He started going into drugs and stuff like that. Really bright kid, loved him to death,
Yeah.
but he was never right. He was never right. For some reason, something after like those times, he was never right. And I got a
Huh.
feeling they they might have messed up and messed him up, because this is the same nephew I had that unfortunately took his own life a few years after they moved out of the house.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I have a strong feeling that that house was a direct relation to why he was the way he was. And the room that he
Maybe.
lived in, the room that was his, I was never comfortable being in. It was an uncomfortable room. It was small, but it was never like there was something always off about it. Not to the point where it was bad, but just not right. And I think what happened was whatever happened in that house, they sealed everything either into the hallway, into the basement, or in his room. And whatever was in his room was in him, I think. And that's why I think he did most of the things he did.
It's maybe.
And they could never get it out.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, I don't believe that there is, one particular god, right? However,
Mhm.
a religious practice, all right, because that's what it is. It's not just religion. The practice,
Yeah.
of burning the cross in, they take into a lot of like, for lack of better phrasing, occult-like activity, right? Because it's the occult, right? Even though they don't want to call themselves that, but a cult would be worse to be called. So I believe that, like, using like, because they burn like sage or whatever, or they'll use ash, they'll use salt, they'll use holy water, of which is a blessed water, of which whether they, oh man, I became a robot again. I'm looking at myself, I'm blurry as all hell.
You are the glitchiest boy.
I mean, to be fair, that's kind of my aesthetic as well.
Secretly and slowly,
Am I back
Trash
yet?
Mouse turns into a Masingo.
Am I back yet?
Not yet.
Son of a bitch. It's me! Two of me!
Just
Alright.
think of it as once in a while someone who likes to troll. What happened? Oh. Get out of my room, I'm playing Minecraft!
Maybe
No,
you have to tab onto. Maybe you have to tab onto Discord again.
Bop, bop. Oh, you're right. You right.
That
But
actually
yeah,
worked. Okay.
yeah.
But no. So I believe that like, whether they know that they're doing it or not, the whole blessing of water, is like, because there's, as an example, with like the vampiric that I learned, like the practice, we used fire, like actual fire, right? Like we used blood as well for some things, but that was very rare, right? Like I have a blood rune next to me that I've made, but that takes a lot of blood. So not really the easiest thing to do. And it's not just anyone's blood, right? It has to be someone from your own group, and they have to infuse that blood with energy as it comes out, right? Well, people that do like water
That's
stuff,
interesting, Rager.
right? They would use water, right? For various different things. They use water stones, right? Or that would be what I would assume, considering we use fire stones, and since we all practice different things, right? Ours is more on like the darker side of things, I guess. But they use like water for things. So there's nothing
Chubby.
saying that they can't infuse energy into water the same as like holy water would be. So what if holy water is just like them enchanting it with their own energy and not even knowing, right?
Right.
They're not getting a power from a god in particular. They're getting it from themselves, using the energy of the universe that is actually going through them, right? That would be my understanding with my belief system, to be able to understand how their shit works without there still
Doing
being a
great,
god.
thank you.
Because scientifically, you can argue both sides. Like, if there is a god, who made God? God was always there. Why can't the universe just be here then? Right? There's that argument, right? Or you can use science to prove that there is a god. because we're on the third dimension. What if a fourth dimensional being created our universe? That, therefore, would be our god, right?
Right.
So there's a lot to it. Then I can argue like 5 ways to Sunday on that your god is real or your god isn't real, because it's different perspectives, and we can't prove either is correct yet, right? When I die, I die. I believe in reincarnation because I've studied a whole lot of stuff, right? And to me, I've seen it enough times in enough religions that aren't connected to each other. I believe it's real, right? Even in Christianity and even Judaism. Or no, I don't think Judaism actually believes Jesus was reborn, does it? Oh god, I'm forgetting.
I don't recall.
Oh no, Jesus being reborn, that's a reincarnation. Even though it's not the reincarnation, it's re-inhabiting your own body, but you know, your spirit coming back, right? But a lot of natives, well, your spirit joins the others in the sky, right? And you go back
Also
up,
true.
and then you
That's
join
true.
back to the earth, right? So your spirit goes back, right? And then there's Buddhism, where you go on to the next life and you become something else, right? Like just there's too many of them that talk about reincarnation that it can't be real, or that it can't not be real. Sorry. And that's my thought process on that. So, because to me that makes sense, right? And I learned a whole bunch from a bunch of different things. Like there's even like lycanthropy. Once I studied into that, because after I learned everything that I was able to learn or willing to learn from the vampiric stuff, because I didn't want to go further into it because there's a lot more, for lack of better wording, meetings that you're supposed to have. Nothing that you're thinking that's dirty. No. It's just like it becomes a larger part of your life, and I didn't want that because that's not my full belief system. I was adopting it, right, parts of it into what I study, and I was talking with the guy that originally got me into it, and the leader, right, and there was one other guy too, but I don't remember much about him. And I was like, well, is there anything else that, without getting like further into this and need to be more into like part of it, is there more that you guys can teach me, or is there anyone that you know that might be able to teach me something else that's kind of the same that you've interacted with? And literally the leader went, how do you feel about werewolves? And I was like, what? Like actual like turning into a wolf? Because like obviously you guys don't drink blood and you can't see your reflection type thing. Like you're not actual vampires and vampiric. He's like, that's a good answer. Yeah, I know someone that studies lycanthropy. If you want, I can get in touch with them. And I was like, what the fuck is lycanthropy? Right? And he was like, it's the study of beasts in a religious or in a practice manner. And I was like learning about how animals work. And he was like, more getting in tune with animals' energies. And I was like, well, that sounds right up my fucking alley. I'm down for this, right? So I have become just the pixeliest boy on your stream. I am sorry. This is, we'll need to figure out something to make this better next time. That's you know what? That's it's just me mean to us. Let me do this again.
Yay!
All right. And I was like, okay, cool. And a lot of what I learned from that was, they don't have anything to do with any type of stones. They don't have anything to do with any type of metals. Certain scents mean different things, but it's more of like learning about how animals are, right? But being able to like feel an animal's energy and be able to like connect with it, in a way that isn't verbal, right? Like there's no physical, there's no verbal. It's like your spirit kind of talking to it kind of thing, right? And I'm like, this actually kind of connects a lot with like native stuff. Okay, this is good. So I learned a decent amount about that. So, okay, hold on. Let's see what Rager Tundra over here is saying. Trash Mouse, really, I'm interested in your buddy. Is he like, he'll hurt you, but if he can't, he guards you? Is it like, hey, this is my kill, back off, or like guarding because he likes you? So I believe at first he wanted to just hunt me down. And I only recently, again, like I said, like around July or August of last year, discovered like skinwalkers and stuff like that. And there's a thing about you don't whistle in the woods at night. That's a native thing. There's a lot of people that say don't do that, for different like things. And I was 11 years old, and I just learned how to whistle a different way, right? And I was going over to my buddy's place at night. That would be my only guess, because I was like, well, there's no forest, right? Like there's like a small patch of trees behind the houses that behind the houses that they would stand on that I could see them from my bedroom window, but there's no forest.
It's funny.
And then I
Whistling is
remember
one of my ticks.
Oh, so and then it clicked in my head, like after a little bit. I was actually on another stream where it clicked that I had been whistling that night when that happened, and then I was like, holy fuck! There used to be a bog around the corner from my house,
Hi,
but it's been
nerdy.
paved over. Like it's been paved over for like since I was in like 6th grade, so I didn't remember that it was even there, right? So I was like, holy
Hello?
shit. I was technically in a forest. I was not even like 30-second walk away. Holy shit. Because the bog was right around the corner from my house, like literally right around the corner. But because I completely forgot about it, I didn't even think about that. So I was like, what if it was something that I pissed off because I was whistling and it wanted to get me because of that? And then it just coincidentally, the house that I ran to, the other one went to as well because it saw me, and I was obviously more focused on the one behind me to not notice the one on the other houses, right, that looked in through the window. And I was like, holy shit. So things started to kind of piece together that way, right? I was like, okay, so maybe it did want to attack me. And for a long time, it was very aggressive intent. Like anytime that I would draw it, like, and I mean like draw it on paper or whatever, right? It just came so close to me, and like normally it couldn't get within that bubble, but that bubble was like super small whenever I draw it, and I don't know why, right? Because I couldn't control that bubble when I was younger, right? Now that I'm older I can, but you know, it's like I had no control of things. I didn't understand how it all worked, and it was just
This is Trash
Maddie's-
Mouse.
don't call me Maddie. I'm much more
Fry my
attractive than him.
bacon. Thanks for the follow.
Yeah, don't call me Maddie. I'm prettier than Maddie. I love that. Do you know what that man fucking did to me on one of his streams?
What he
I was
do?
just chilling in his stream, just hanging out, because, you know, I missed the fucker, right? And then he was like, oh, fucking Trash Mouse hanging out here, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, yeah. And he was like, look at this motherfucker, being attractive, being cute, being funny. I can't fucking believe him. And I was like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, and like, look at this fucking VOD of his. And he brings up my fucking last VOD. I was like, don't you fucking dare. Right? And then, of course, it was one of my IRL ones. So, like, you can see that I dressed up. Like, because I dress up for my streams now. Like I make myself look really pretty. Right? Because I figured that just makes sense.
Yourself look pretty, get the powder on, and, you know.
No, I put on a dress shirt and a vest, and I shave, and a vest.
Ah, yes.
The dress stream is not for a little bit. So I just, you know, I make myself look good. Like, nerdy, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So of course I looked really cute in there, right? And he was like, look at this fucker. Listen to his voice, right? He's like, because this man, he has a voice like, oh, I gotta do blah blah blah. And I was like, it's like if I'm not using my higher energy voice like this, like if I'm, you know, talking my natural voice, I'm like, I mean, it's not that bad, but okay. And he's just like, yeah. And then he just clicks in, skips throughout the to the random part of the VOD where I'm sitting there, and I'm just like flirting with Vex, who is in my chat. So I'm just kind of flirting to my screen. And oh, Azrael, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So of course I'm flirting in this one, and then Maddie's like, look at this fucker. And then, you know Sugar Cube, right?
Sugar Cube. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, like a Jedi, thank you for the follow. So she was in chat, and she was like, oh damn, he cute. And I'm like, she's really pretty, so thank you. But I was like, oh man, this motherfucker. So yeah, I love that guy. I talk shit on him, but I love him. He's one of like the most fucking. He seems incredibly like gross and weird. It's goofy, but like, he's a total sweetheart. He's wholesome as fuck and real person.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's so good. Head to bed. All right, love you, Geki. Take it easy. Hey yo, what's up, Bayou? Welcome to the stream. I think you're my first ever D Live person. Thank you.
You're not allowed to mortar people.
Why not?
Because goes against all codes and ethics. and I think it's against the law, and it's against.
Hey man, I just want to be a cool kid. I do what I want. Where the hell was that talking about? By the way, I already talked about the white wolf thing. That was the thing in the thing I was talking about with the witch girl. Ironic that she made.
Hello.
No, Ranger, thank you for the follow. My brain needs to work a little bit gooder. My goodness, why does this happen to me?
Brain needs to work more goodness.
I am flatlining.
Wah.
Frost is still short. Oh yeah, I put it closer to actual heights on this one. I see him trying to make us the same. Yeah.
I'm still short on my street.
Yeah. If you look at mine, you're much shorter. And I also moved this a little bit further.
Oh, that way when I turn, I'm not like, hi.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah, but the
No. Stranded Deity just followed me.
Mhm.
Isn't that our bird boy?
Yeah, is there a bird boy?
Because my bird boy hasn't been following me?
Ooh.
I'ma slap the fuck out you. No.
Oh. Oh.
Oh man. Think about it for the fault. I thought I was sorry. No, Twitch did like a massive unfollowing of people back like November. So it makes sense. Just so everyone knows, in my chat, as you can see, there's a little like Twitch thing next to your name over there. There's also 𝐕𝐢𝐬 over there that has a DLive one. So because I'm multi-streaming, so all of you guys can all talk to each other across various platforms through this chat on screen that you can see. They unfollowed me from Frost like a few months ago. Yeah, they unfollowed me from Fur Trap, and I'm like, bro, I used to hang out with him all the time. What the fuck? But
yeah, he doesn't accept my request anymore, so I don't think I'm cool enough.
I could just like send a request. He'll let me join. And I haven't spoken to him in like
everyone's like that
months.
with everybody else except me.
No, it's with me. Everybody loves me. I can like be like, oh, Talis is sitting here. She's got like a bajillion fucking people viewing her right now. I'll send her a request. She'll just accept it right away. I'm like, oh, there's the FrostedFricks who let me in, and then I'm like, oh, there's a 𝐿, he'll let me in. I'm like, oh, was that? Is that for Trap? They'll let me in. I'm like, oh, is that Autumn? He'll let me in. Right? I got friends, people like me. I don't know why. I'm really stupid. They're just like, yeah, but your voice is content. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fair. I get it. That's weird that salt can't hurt me when I'm no longer scared. Nani? So I don't understand what's happening there. Oh, salty, sorry. What? This is hard. I'm reading like different. Reznov, my man. I became a pixely boy on the screen. You can come back a little bit, but Trash Mouse abandoned me, bro. He's too famous for. I'm not famous. Hold on. All right. I don't even check viewer count normally.
The famous?
No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Is it the famous?
We're not doing that.
Is it the famous?
Nope.
Is that the famous Trash Mouse?
Stop.
I've never seen a famous Trash _mouse __. How are you, Mr. Famous?
Fricks, you have literally 10 times my viewership right now. I'm streaming to 5 different platforms.
But you is famous.
Yeah. No, it's just the fact that I changed my schedule again that no one really stops by anymore. So I went from like 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. back to my 11 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Good night, Kotaku.
But a lot of people just like hop in my streams just to fall asleep to my voice, so I'm alright with it. The famous streamer I've been hearing everyone talk about. Oh god. No, that was why did that even become a meme that people did? It's the famous. It's the famous.
Famous.
No, yeah, it was famous and then it became famous.
Famous. I didn't even think of that one. Is that the famous?
It became famous because I'm Canadian, and I was like,
that makes sense.
Thanks. But everyone's like, yeah, it's the famous. Trash Mouse, he's famous. And I'm like, oh god, please kill me. This is why I don't play VR chat anymore. Like, but
you're too famous for it. I get it.
Yeah, I guess. All right. Well, if you guys want to make me famous, I'm not gonna complain. I need money.
Get out. Oh.
Oh man. So.
I
got no
wanted
story?
to say I haven't posted this anywhere yet, but we did hit a big goal recently.
The 10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on your other
Yeah.
scene. That was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I don't even know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm at.
yeah.
I have my follower count turned off too.
You son of a.
Okay, so
You're-
my thought
wait,
process. I
actually,
don't
I know
care
what
how many
you're at.
people are watching, and I don't care how many followers I've got. I'm gonna give the same performance either way. Whether I've got 1,000 people or one person, like it's the
But-
same performance, same quality.
Yeah.
So. Oh God, they're doing it
Frosted
again.
partner when I can
Oh,
get when I can
God,
get a
they're
solid
doing it
75
again.
people watching me.
Fucking Jesus! Look what you've done.
What? What I
Look
do?
what you've done.
Are they saying you're famous? Now I need to go to your thing. Now I need to go to your chat and see how famous you are.
Until this moment, I've never wanted to beat someone to death with a wiffle ball bat so badly.
Ah.
Can't believe what you started. I did nothing. This was all your fame pouring over into the world. Why does this happen? Every single time, new people are like, "Oh, it's Trashman. Oh, he's famous. He's famous." And I'm like,
Famous.
"Can I
I
just?"
like the way Azriel spells it.
Nani?
F-A-E.
Oh,
mouse.
okay.
Famous.
Wait, didn't Reznov do that? Or did someone else do it
Okay.
first?
Famous.
Damn, Keys is so talented. He clearly counts as 10 peeps. I believe that. I believe that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's what you're talking about, right? Yeah. Simpsons did it first.
Simpsons did it.
I don't like Simpsons. I'm sorry. I just can't.
Oh.
Am I becoming a robot again?
Wait, I fixed you. I just kept clicking until it worked.
Oh, that worked surprisingly well.
I don't know what I was doing, but it did a thing.
You clicked me back into existence. I thank you. On my stream, we don't have any of these issues, but I mean... You're just so aggressive looking. Just, I'm gonna fucking end you.
No, that's this one.
Outie, I'm dying. Alright, love you, Yeki. Take it easy. Don't die, it's bad for your health. Well, I've technically died 7 times, so...
People say when you die you're dead.
So I technically died 7 times from heart failure.
I've only drowned almost 3 times.
Well, that's just your own stupidity. My body just sucks.
No, I was born that way.
Oh, you were born drowning?
Yes.
Were you born in a bathtub?
No.
Swimming pool?
It was the
A hot
amniotic
tub.
fluid I inhaled when I
Oh.
was, yeah. And then I got pneumonia. I almost died.
I'm
That's
sorry.
awesome.
The what? You inhaled the what?
The fluid inside the body.
Like inside the womb?
Yeah.
You mean the thing that you're able to breathe?
Apparently there was fluid in there that got into my lungs.
Yeah, it is a fluid. It's the only fluid the human body can breathe.
Well, apparently I couldn't.
You're a fucking failure from birth. No.
God damn it, I was already set up to fail.
I can't even breathe right. Bitch gave me asthma too. Like,
That's also true. I did get asthma.
I mean, obviously, if you can't even breathe liquid oxygen or liquid whatever the fuck, because it's more than just oxygen. Because breathing liquid oxygen would literally kill you. But you know what I'm saying.
Isn't embryonic fluid? I think that's what it's called.
I don't know. It's the good pussy juice.
You're proud of yourself for that one, aren't
I'm
you?
really proud of myself for that.
You're proud of that one, aren't you?
Yeah.
I just.
You know
Interview's
this was
over.
coming. The interview's over. Nah, there's 10 minutes left. Even Vex, you know, my #1 simp says, time to leave. Like,
Head pat.
yeah, that's how you know you went too far.
No
But, you know,
one's
it's just how it be.
that. The hand return.
Oh no.
The spooky hand returns. It's spooky. Ba, 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 ba. You haven't seen this hand. Ba, 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 ba.
I don't like that. It's a ghost hand.
It's a head pat.
Where
hand.
do I
you
hand my
See,
mod
we're doing
badge?
here,
Where do I hand my mod?
It's on my right side now. Now I'm putting it on your right side. Now you're head patting them.
Oh god. What's wrong with you? My mod wants to unmod themselves now because of what I said. Oh. This has been a night. But, you know. Right. Oh, man. As a baby, you get your oxygen and blood delivered by the umbilical cord. When you were born, you switch from that source to your own lungs as a hard birth, and the baby will sometimes switch early. No, but there's also the actual fluid that's in there. That it teaches your lungs how to move. That, like, babies breathe before they're actually, like, you know, breathing. It's their body learning it, like, teaching itself. I become a robot again, thank you. I like that you can just click me back into existence. This is so cool. I'll take your sword. No, you will not.
Breathe! Breathe! Don't die!
Not meant for not suffocating. I mean, if you aren't suffocating when you're in it. Like, yeah, I don't really give out, like, mod privileges too quick. Like, it's only, like, people, like, really trust my shit. So, just because with mod stuff, you can really fuck over a channel. So. Alright, I gotta ask about this. What's with the computer? Why is it just an old school PC? Like, just, why this?
What's wrong with the CRT?
I mean, it's just, your chat doesn't even fully fit on it. And, like,
They
it's
fit
got
on
jagged
it.
edges.
You don't like the CRT?
I want a higher quality CRT.
Listen, we're lucky to get that resolution off the thing.
So, funny story, actually. There's 0 latency when you use CRTs. Because
Yeah,
it's direct
that's why
light.
it's the best one. It's why they use them in Smash Tournament.
Yep. Well, also, those bit better, like, console actually hooks up to it easier, so, you know.
Chat thick, yeah.
Chat be thick. It's just,
Part of the aesthetic. And then you got the little snowman for when people decide to sub or follow or bit. Or donation.
who's also a different quality. Higher res. And then we can see ourselves through your table.
You knocking Ted?
No, I'm saying Ted's high quality.
Damn straight
But how
Ted's
come
high
I can
quality.
see myself through the desk?
You can see yourself through the desk?
Yeah,
How?
you see, there's 2 lines that you can see through. Yeah, it's the corner where it actually goes down for the added effect. You're like, why are you talking shit on my stream?
Now let's go dissect his string. Give me a second. I'm gonna get.
I mean, you can go right ahead. I make overlays, so I mean, have fun.
Look at him. Look at this boy with his PNG background image. Now, excuse me, sir. It's JPEG.
I'm running a 1050 Ti, and if it was a JPEG, it would not be that high quality. And you have a ping background too. Shut the fuck up. Your animated one's in the background behind
it's
it.
a slightly moving, slow-moving background. We've been sitting in front of a
Wait,
video
is it
this whole
actually?
time. It's been a lie.
As you see him just grab it and drag it around a little bit. All right, final question then. Why can I see our cursor on screen?
Because I notoriously leave it in the middle of the screen just to annoy people.
Okay, I'll take that. What is this? 1800 by 600
It's sort of like how
screenshot?
It's sort of like how I'm on light mode in Twitch, just to see people go, "Oh my God, what is wrong with you?" I live for that.
See, Vex is talking smack, but no, this is a 1980 by 1080 image, alright, being downscaled to 960p, because 960p has better compression and will go through a 720p as opposed to downscaling from 1080p, because Twitch is kind of like, I'm a bitch, but if you use 960p, which is also 16:9, you're always forced onto 720p. Always. Like, that is the minimum that you can have. Either that or open at 960p. Or is it 940? I don't know. Whatever. 900p, whatever the fuck that one is. Alright. And that makes your video look better. And it also makes it so...
I don't.
What?
Bam.
You should. You should use better TTV. It's the only way to use Twitch. Makes the website actually work. It also gives you 30 free emotes. Hey, by the way, I have 30 emotes on my channel. I'm not even an affiliate. He's sitting here like,
oh yeah,
damn it! I would be making more money if I was doing it his way.
Where are they then?
Yeah, use better TTV like the rest of the fucking world.
No,
Pleb.
where are your emotes? Where are your emotes? Huh?
Use the better TTV extension and click the emote button.
I'm sorry, you're telling me to install an extension when I can just hit you with mine?
Hey Vex, you want to drop some emotes in chat? Mine come up too.
Joke's on you, I can't see them.
You're not looking at stream. Mine pop up on screen and they fly around. Look
Mine
at
pop up
those.
in the
There's
stream,
some
they're
boy.
flying around. Look
There's
at
some
them.
boy.
They fly in front of you.
They don't
There you
go
go.
over there
Bam,
because
bam,
that's
bam.
restream.
Little Vinny stuff.
Oh, would you look at that? Your boy has emotes.
Are we having a dick
30.
measuring contest with
How
our
many
fucking
emotes do you have? Is that is that 8? Do you have 8? Let me click. Let me check. Let your mod check this for you. All right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, I'm seeing.
My boy, you didn't even get the full 8.
You can't get 8. You can only get up to 7.
Do you know about your bit emotes?
Yes.
Also, by the way, I still have emotes. You just can't get them. Because I created them. What are we talking about? Oh, it's a dick measuring contest.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is how we are. We're just being fun. Plus, it's the end of the stream anyways. There's like 2 minutes left. So, or my stream, not his, sorry.
You want to hear the reason why I'm afraid of Jack in the Boxes? I'll give you an extra few minutes.
Can you make me not a robot looking pixely ass fucker? Seeing as your computer apparently can't keep me going. What GPU do you got?
GTX 1080.
I'm running a 1050 Ti, and I'm not having this problem.
It has nothing to do with the computer and everything to do with my internet.
You know what? That's completely fair. I won't even know. I'll take that one back. Yep, that's fair. I know exactly your issues with your internet.
Mm-hmm.
That's out of your control.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so
Yes, since you're about the Jack in the Box horror.
okay, I'll
I
tell
drink
you
some
that.
water.
But first, I left my last girlfriend because she wouldn't stop counting. I wonder what she's up to now. So, anyways, let's talk about my reason why I'm afraid.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that one. How did that? What?
I said I left my last girlfriend because she was addicted to counting. I wonder what she's up to now.
Oh. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, I didn't hear it fully before.
Jack in the Box. That
Yeah.
When I was younger, I told you every house I've been in has been haunted. Even this one. Like, to give you an idea, this one, me and my old former roommate had an issue. Well, not an issue, but more like an event where we were sitting in the living room, and for some reason, I have no idea why, a shoe flew out of his room and hit my computer room door. And we just looked at each other and we're like, so dinner? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, anywhere but here? He goes, absolutely. Gyms? Gyms. I'm like, you need to get your shoes? He goes, nope, fuck it. We'll eat in your car. I'm like, okay, let's go.
You know what? That sounds very similar to how my dad and I react whenever we hear bitching in the house. Smoke, smoke, beer, beer.
Smoke,
All right.
beer.
Good beer, good beer.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to start a fire? Let's have fire. Oh, fire's hot. That's a hot fire. Yeah.
So what happened was I was younger, and I was sitting in my living room, and I remember this sounds like I always say this sounds like something like right out of a horror movie, but I'm sitting there in the living room and I'm hearing ding 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 ding, and I'm like, what the fuck?
No, thank you.
So I'm thinking it's my parents fucking with me, because sometimes they be like that. Or it was just like the moving stuff around, and my dad was just like cleaning the room or something like that. And he was playing
just
with
something bumped it or something.
Yeah. Something I didn't even think about. So I go, I'm following the sound. I go to my bedroom, and my Jack in the Box used to sit on my nightstand directly next to my bed. And I look in the room, and no one's there. And I look over at the Jack in the Box, and I see the handle turning, and I'm like, oh. Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like, then
You
I'm
know.
seeing it's like ding 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 ding, bang, and then the little thing jumped out, and I ran very fast down to the
And-
basement.
Understandably.
That's where my parents were, and I fell down the stairs to get to them too. And they're like, "What's wrong?" And I explained to them what happened. And honestly, like, that fucking traumatized the shit out of me. I can't look at Jack in the Boxes. Like, I literally cannot be around them. Someone's
Do you
fucking
eat there,
with
though?
one, I leave. Huh?
You eat there though?
I've eaten at a Jack in the Box. Yeah, it's not bad. But like,
Okay,
that's not.
okay. I've never had it.
But I
It's not in my
can't.
country, so I just want to know.
Yeah, it's not. It's not in my state either. But I was in Arizona, and then I've been to California, and they both got Jack in the Boxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got asked
So-
a question in your chat.
Mhm.
Do you believe that cats can see paranormal beings? So, I myself, yes. Just because there is way too many depictions amongst like so many different cultures, whether it be from Egypt to the Mayans, to a lot of Asian cultures, to even like Native American, or not Native American, sorry, because they didn't have house cats, to like Wiccan and like pagan and stuff like that, where cats are a vital part of their practice, or their culture, because they're known for warding off things. And also the study of lycanthropy lets you know that animals have specific types of energies, and one of the things that it was cats are like not protectors, but more of like, well, they can be protectors, but generally they're more of like a deterrent, you know. They don't normally attack something, they scare it off, right? Whereas like dogs are more of a protector, and they'll like attack things to keep them away from you, which puts themselves at harm, right? So nice burp. Cats are legit. They deserved a better
I
movie.
grew it
Oh
myself.
god.
But yeah.
Did you talk about the white wolf
Oh.
thing? I did.
You did.
Wait, Vex, it's not worth it in my opinion. It's okay. What is not worth it? What? Oh, Jack in the Box. Right.
No,
I
it's definitely a regrettable meal.
Oh yeah, and that's exactly why I want it. I mean, I worked at McDonald's. I lived off Taco Bell. And
But you
I
guys
just wanna
got
try it.
Harvey's.
don't go there.
And their burgers do be hitting pretty good sometimes.
They're okay.
If I had a choice between Harvey's and a fucking Burger King, I would go to Harvey's.
Nope. Burger King in a heartbeat.
Really.
Yes.
I like Harvey's.
Burger King in a heartbeat.
Not
Because if I'm gonna
Arby's,
eat no. I would go to Burger King instead of Harvey's for the sole reason that if I'm gonna eat like shit, I'm getting a lot, and it's gonna be cheap. If I want 100 nuggets, it's under $20. If I'm gonna die, I'm doing it the right way. Welcome to my
Like what
TED
is
Talk.
it? Like $1.49 for a 10-piece?
Here it's like $2.70 or some shit. But if you want like a 10-piece at
$1.49 for,
McDonald's,
like, a 10
you want you want a 10-piece at McDonald's, it's like $12. So it's like fuck that.
Gross.
Yeah. So I'm like, just go to Burger King, just suffer through it. But even then, just get like a couple of hamburgers and a couple of like the chicken sandwich things,
Not
and then
Harvey's,
just stack them together.
Harvey's, like Steve Harvey.
Yeah, not with a D, but with a V. No
V.
no Daryl's, just Valerie's.
Vicky's and Vixens and Valerie's and
Vaginas.
Vagina. What? Vegan. Vegetables. Vocal cords.
Vagina!
Vagina!
Oh god, no. Whopper, I love the damn Whoppers. You want to have something even better than the Whopper? Get a Roadhouse King. That is a burger with motherfucking onion rings and a pound of bacon, I swear to Christ. Well, it's not really a pound, but like there's bacon on it, there's onion rings, and it's so good. Barbecue sauce, it's to die for, man. Man, now I'm hungry. I haven't even I had one meal today. Like and I hoovered it. It was like an entire, like, it was a mounding plate of food that, like, I was out doing all shit all day. Then we're out having a fire. And then my dad and I were, like, grabbing stuff. And he was like, all right, we need water to put out the fire. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll go grab the bucket. And then a couple beers, and I'll bring them back. And then I go inside and use the washroom. He's like, all right, cool. So I did that. And then, or maybe not chicken in that order, but whatever. And I asked my mom inside, I was like, how are you feeling? She's like, I'm okay. And I was like, would you mind grabbing some of the leftovers and putting them on a plate and heating it up for me, please? I'm just gonna run this shit out to Dad. And then she was like, yeah, okay. No, thank you. And I was like, can I go? Alright. So, did all that, came on back, got a plate of food. It was like leftovers from Easter dinner last night. And then I just, it was gone in like a minute. And I was like, that was not enough food. I should have ate more food. But then there was no more. And then I was sad. Well, I'm sorry for asking questions, Trash Mouse. Do you think when you die that your buddy will follow your soul or simply leave? I'm uncertain on that. So, I believe in reincarnation, right? And I have very firm reasoning for it, other than just the fact that it's in other, like, religious stuff, but for the sake of not sounding as crazy, or more crazy than I already have tonight, my MPD, I believe, is part of reincarnation. So, and I think a lot of people with MPD or DIDs, it's either, well, maybe not DIDs, but DIDs can develop into MPDs, so it can't be all of them. But I believe there are certain cases where they're able to coexist in a good way, that the MPD is reincarnation. And my main reasoning for this is, I don't know any of their names. I've given them all names. I gave them all names when I was a kid, so they're all stupid Japanese names or something I was reading at the time or whatever, right? Like, they're not actually Japanese. I just thought they sounded Japanese because I was a child, and well, whatever. And the one, Romya, he was beat to death in a field by some like older kids or whatever, and I started looking up because he told me the day that it happened, right? Like what year it was and everything. I was like, okay. And so I started looking up newspapers and stuff from roughly where he said he lived, right? And it was literally a week before I was born that it happened. Like, it was on like July 8th or some shit. And I was born on the 14th, right? I was like, okay, right? So I'm looking up, I'm looking over, like, it was like one of the, like, my brain just flatlined, holy shit, give me a minute. English is not coming to me well. It was like, not Michigan by any means, but like, what's the one right next to it? It's just escaping us right now. Like, Pennsylvania?
Startled the heck out of me.
Is it Pennsylvania that's next to Michigan?
Was it?
Pennsylvania, is that the one that's near? Whatever, Pennsylvania. I think it's Pennsylvania. Yeah, it's not far from like the border.
Not far, but it's not next to it.
No, okay. So it was there, and so I'm looking through all the old school newspapers that I could find online, and I ended up finding it where there was a boy that had been beat to death, right? And every time that I read the name of what happened, right? Because he was only like, I think he was, how old? 15 when that happened, right? And so I'm like, okay, interesting. So I'm looking up, yep, 15-year-old boy named blah, 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 blah. And I was like, what the fuck? I can't read that. Like, I could see that there's a word there. I could not understand it. It was not like it was written in a different language. There is very clearly letters there. My brain cannot comprehend it. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I'd ask people, like, can you read what this says to me? Right? And they read it, and my brain could not hear them say it. It was just, like, jumbled. And I was like, what the fuck? So, they don't have names, but I believe that that's how reincarnation works, is you're not allowed to know who you were. You're allowed to hear about what you were, but you aren't able to know exactly who you were. And that's just apparently a common thing, because like you aren't often reincarnated into like a human, I guess. So, but all of mine I consider to be reincarnations from human and whatnot. So, I don't know. It's why I've always been super attuned to stuff, I think. Also, I became super glitchy on your screen. So, yeah, like that's... Yeah, I broke again.
Not breaking.
It's your internet, not me.
You.
Okay.
You broke boy.
So legitimate question I sometimes think about: can there be dinosaur ghosts? Why the fuck would you give me that fear?
A ghostosaurus rex.
Why the fuck would you give me that fear? I'm now terrified that I'm gonna run into a Tyrannosaurus ghost. A Spooposaurus rex, if you will. Why would you?
It's better than a Spooporaptor.
Why would I mean? I guess, but like, I guess, probably.
I hate the Spoopodactyl. They're super scary.
Pterodactyl would have been a better one.
Pterodactyl, yeah.
That would actually be a really cool name for like a VTuber. They're just like pterodactyl, but like they do horror games and they're creepy. Pterodactyl. Someone write that down. Someone write that down. Vex, write it down. Alien ghosts? Yeah, we didn't even get into aliens. Fuck, I'm into aliens too, because it just makes perfect sense. So, I'm terrified enough with just a poopodactyl. Oh god. So I would assume that, I guess, that would kind of work, but if all things reincarnate, that wouldn't be a dinosaur anymore. It would change into something else. So... And I assume that there would be like a limited amount of time between like reincarnations, seeing as it was only a week for, Romeo and I, but it was like, fuck, I don't even know how long. I have the one, his name's Twy, he's from like the 1400s. So, there's obviously gaps in it. But, I don't know, those were like millions of years ago, right? So, Megalodon ghost, it probably already became like a koi fish or something already, man.
What was that?
That's my thoughts on that.
DJ Flip, thank you for the host. I'm gonna hear you over the host sound.
He's okay. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. I was trying to make a joke. Alien ghost on the get it, boss. Got it, boss. Oh, thank you. Space jellyfish be like what? Scared the hell out of me. Oh, your thing. Yeah. All right. I should probably end my stream though, because I'm only supposed to stream until like 2, and it is currently 2:25.
Too hurty.
I did start a little late, but we went a little late. So, unless you want me to stick around, but that's up to you. Because if you got more stories, I'm more than down to listen. Or we can always just do this on another day.
You do it another day. I could save them for later.
Okay, because Tuesdays are supposed to be my creepy days, but those are IRL streams. I mean, I can still throw you on screen the way you are, but most of us just hop into a Discord call and just hang out. So, up to you. You can be a VTuber that's hanging out on screen with me if you want. But
I'll be like Space Jam.
You'll be my Lola Bunny?
Yeah, but hotter.
Can't deny that one. Not with that admitting to being a fucking furry.
Space jellyfish?
I'm a furry. What? You have a nice night, or else? Or else what? You wanna fight? Because I'm pretty good at fisticuffs, but I'm even better at chess, so I'd rather play in chess, because chess would be much funner.
I don't know. He's pretty good at taking down people.
You would know.
Going after the ankle.
Yeah, go right for the foot fetish.
Well, I mean, shut up. Hi, Shaikun.
Don't fuck with Salty. He has arson like me. Arson how? I have a Vex. She just does as I request. So if I say time him out for 30 minutes, they go, okie dokie. And you're gone for 30. What kind of arson you got then? Nothing. You have nothing. Murder time.
My wife
immediate
looked at
thing
me
is
and said, "Did you know
murder
your
time.
son is addicted to setting things on fire?" And I looked back at her and go, "Our son?" I'm proud of myself on that one.
It's just the fact that I actually found it funny that bothers me. Ooh, trash. Oh god, no. What's happening? Let's see, we have, what's a
𝐂𝐴𝐡𝐚𝐭.
What's a 𝐂𝐴𝐡𝐚𝐭?
Yeah,
What is that?
a person, a good being.
She's my yandere. What do you mean?
Yeah.
She's super sweet, but she'll fucking murder you if you bother me. Oh, man. Exactly. Oh, no. It's awesome.
𝐂𝐴𝐡𝐚𝐭 is
Oh,
scariest? I don't know.
Wait. No, it's
Some
person's
pretty
name.
scary
I'm so
people in
confused. Wait, what?
Some pretty
Okay.
scary people.
I guess so. I have no idea what's even happening anymore. So what is the plan? Do you want to keep talking or do you want to be...
Want to watch stupid shit?
Sure, I'm down.
Alright, let's watch stupid shit.
Alright, I'm gonna raid you,
Okay.
so I send everyone over there.
Okay.
Alright. Just gonna mute myself for a second while I do this, alright? You want to set that up?
Yeah, want to see how easy it's gonna be for me to set up?
Yeah, you're gonna move 2 things.
Whoop, wrong thing.
Alright, I'm actually gonna run to the washroom real quick too while I do that, alright?
Washroom?
So-
What are you, an old lady?
You don't know the difference?
To the washroom.
Do you not know the difference between a washroom and a
Having
bathroom?
My nose.
Do you not know the difference between a washroom and a bathroom?
Boy, I am from the States. We don't have those things, you old.
Yeah, but
lady.
outhouse out back.
We have an outhouse out back right next to our.
What do you mean? I just shit in the
Our
street.
our wash.
There's a
house.
vent
Oh,
right
shit,
there.
We do have a wash. We do have
Yeah.
a washroom. Shit.
No, so a washroom is one that doesn't have a bathtub. So if you have a shower, it's still a washroom. But if you have a bathtub, it's a bathroom because you can bathe in there. Simple as that.
Then why do they call the bathrooms at like any like a restaurant? I need to use the bathroom.
No,
Okay,
they-
right over here.
Well, no, just because people know what you're saying.
You don't bathe
The
at a
terms are
restaurant.
used interchangeably.
They
no,
can't
we call them
bathe at a
washrooms.
restaurant.
It depends how determined you are, but no, we call them washrooms here. You know, because we have a brain. I like that when I go up towards my microphone, it's where your ears are on my screen. Oh, it's on your screen too. It's like right where your ears are, so it's like whispering in your ear. Oh man.
Funny fact that this character actually doesn't have. You know how some people who have the Kamomimi ears on their head, they have
Yeah,
the ears on the
these.
side of their head.
The actual
This
ones.
one
like
does not.
these. I gotta get rid of those. Yeah.
Yeah, this one does.
Man,
not.
I should just send you my model. Be like, can you throw it in Blender and get rid of my ears for me? Oh, man. Dun dun. I know I don't have
Sounds
money.
like. Well, then guess what?
All right, starting the raid over on you now. everyone in chat from various different platforms, this is where we're going. It is going to be over on Twitch. If you don't want to be on Twitch, I understand. Alright. Love y'all, and I will see you over in his stream. Oh, he just came back. See you at a later point in time. I stream every night at 11 p.m. So. Alright, I'm ending my stream. I'm gonna go use the washroom, and then, yeah.
You go use the bathroom.
You know what? Technically, there is a bathtub in there, so I did use the wrong term. But it was meant to be a washroom, but this became a man cave before we got the house. So,
That sounds
I have a urinal.
really
Do you have a urinal? I have a urinal.
No.
Yeah.
Who puts a urinal
Men.
in a house?
This house only had men in it before us, and the guy just renovated the whole damn thing.
Well,
I
guess
straight
that
up
works.
have a urinal, and there's a toilet right next to it. And then when I told my older brother that, he turned and looked at his girlfriend and went, I need to go and take a pee at the same time as you. We need to do this now. And I was
You need
just
to
like,
hold hands.
yeah, well, it's not that close. But I was just like, damn, son. Gotta get
Damn,
it.
son, where you
Fucking,
get down?
that's bonding. But yeah. Alright, we're raiding. See you guys later. I'll give you over in his chat, but you know. Bye.
Oh, damn.